win. All right, we'll go through some of the Oscar nominations as they hit yesterday. And Amelia Perez leads the pack with 13 nominations overall. I'm not familiar with Amelia Perez at all.
This is like, went right to Netflix. This is it's controversial because of the critics. Like, some critics just hated it. And I tried to watch a little bit of it.
And?
It's very weird. Doesn't mean it's not Oscar-worthy, but it's wild that it got Preston. In the same year as Wicked, it's really...
Yeah,
it's
way
really,
out in front.
Yeah.
So The Brutalist and Wicked tied for second place with 10 nominations each. A Complete Unknown and Conclave followed up third with 8 nods each. So I've broken down the top awards. By the way, the Oscars are going to be hosted by Conan O'Brien. It is March 2nd on ABC. For Best Picture, and there's 10 in that category. There's Anora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave. Dune Part 2 is up for Best Picture, which is for a sci-fi
worthy.
movie.
Yeah,
and it's definitely worthy.
Yeah.
Amelia Perez, I'm Still Here. Nickel Boys, The Substance is up for Best Picture, Steve.
Well, listen.
And Wicked.
Yeah, you saw The Substance finally.
I was telling Steve, I watched
it. It's a damn wild movie, man.
Rochelle was out, so I decided to watch The Substance, and I'm glad she wasn't around when I watched it, because it is an effed up movie.
Yeah,
and it's really, really good, but it's very warped. And the fact that it's up for Best Picture, that's crazy.
Yeah,
I love it.
You would consider that like a cult out of left field kind of thing that would not get Oscar consideration. But what you have is you have Demi Moore, and you have Margaret Qualley, and the director is fantastic, and it's a big nod to Kubrick. So if you haven't seen The Substance. Be prepared,
and it's
great.
It's also a little social commentary, which is done very, very well.
Very well.
Do I have to rent it, or is it streaming somewhere?
You can rent it on Mubi.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can go through Amazon Prime
and even
do
Apple
it that way.
Apple TV, their rental.
Yeah, I did it through Prime. Best Director, Sean Baker for Anora, Brady Corbett for The Brutalist, James Mangold for A Complete Unknown, Jacques Audiard for Amelia Perez, Corley Farragut for The Substance. Those are the Best Director nominations.
Can I go back to Best Picture nods?
Yeah.
Because one of the most highly touted, and like at least on Rotten Tomatoes, I think it was like a 99%, was A Real Pain. And that's not getting anything.
Yeah, it's interesting you said that. I'm flying today, and I downloaded that. I'm going to watch that on the plane.
Yeah.
Marissa saw it and gave it a thumbs up as well. You saw it? You liked it, Case?
I did. I mean, it's different, and the way it ends. I mean, there's no resolve or resolution at the end, but I mean, it's a really, really great character study.
Yeah.
And Jesse Eisenberg has his isms. Kieran Culkin has his, and they all have their moments. I mean, it was an interesting movie, but I'm surprised because it did get like a lot of really good ratings and stuff.
Yeah, I would say it's like a one-watch movie, but it'll live with you forever.
Okay.
I will
really
only wear
that
one
good.
watch when I watch it. I definitely want to see it. But listen, even with the extension of the amount of Best Picture nominees, you're always going to have some snubs that are kind of obvious.
Actor in a leading role, the nominees are Adrian Brody for The Brutalist, Timothy Chalamet for A Complete Unknown, Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing, Ralph Fiennes, Ray Fiennes for Conclave, and Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice.
What was the biggest blockbuster on the list of Best Pictures? Was it Dune? Too?
Probably.
No, probably Wicked.
Oh, yeah.
Wicked,
Wicked, yeah.
Right.
And that's definitely, one that exploded at the box office, but has the critical love as well. Actress in a leading role, Cynthia Erivo for Wicked. Carla, if she wins that, by the way, she'll be an EGOT winner.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Carla Sofia Gascon, Amelia Perez, Mikey Madison for Anora, Demi Moore for The Substance, and Fernanda Torres for I'm Still Here. Actor in supporting role. Up for that is Yura Borisov for Anora, Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain, Case, there you go. Yep. Edward Norton for A Complete Unknown, Guy Pearce for The Brutalist, and Jeremy Strong for The Apprentice.
So, Mikey Madison, Preston, is the actress who gets incinerated in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Leonardo DiCaprio turns the flamethrower on her, and she's the star of this movie, and they say she's incredible.
Of what movie?
Anora.
And did I mention her name?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So I was on actor in a supporting role there. Actress in a supporting role is Monica Barbaro for A Complete Unknown, Ariana Grande for Wicked, Felicity Jones for The Brutalist, Isabella Rossellini for Conclave, and Zoe Saldana for Amelia Perez. Then we have animated feature film Flow, Inside Out 2, Memoir of a Snail, Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Must Foul, and The Wild Robot are the nominees for that.
So I watched Flow. It's really good. They're animals in it, but they're not talking animals. The dogs bark and the cats meow, and the other animals do what they do. But it is a very it's a fantastical story. But it's just you haven't seen a movie like it. It's really well done.
Interesting.
You just follow a cat.
Okay. So, yeah, they're coming out on March 2nd. ABC and Conan O'Brien is hosting the Oscars. Some other stories to dive into. Let's go with this one. We touched on this yesterday. Haley Bieber is letting her fans know that she is Justin's gal still.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, the model shared a mirror selfie.
I could not hear better news this morning.
On her Instagram stories that had her showing off a tote bag with the words Mrs. Bieber on it.
Can I tell you, I did not get 1 second night's sleep last night. I was tossing and turning. Because you wonder.
You can rest well now, sir.
What kind of tote
Is she
bag
still his girl? Is she still his girl?
The new picture came after some of her fans got a little worried. Justin had unfollowed her on Instagram, throwing some people into a frenzy. The artist hopped on his own Instagram stories and cleared everything up, saying that he was hacked.
I don't want to be brutal about this, but if you were one of the people who were in a frenzy, you should be placed into some sort of internment camp.
And so he followed her back now. So
all right, there you go.
Is well. Meghan Markle's ex-staffers from her Spotify podcast reportedly had a not-so-flattering nickname for her.
Was it the C word?
No, it was Eva. The moniker was inspired by Joan Crawford's diva character in the 1955 film Queen Bee. Royal correspondent Neil Sean claimed the nickname was a warning signal to let people know that she was either arriving or on the warpath.
Isn't it wild that the guitarist for Journey is now...
Its last name is spelled S-E-A-N.
Dude, I was thinking the same thing. That's a twist.
I didn't even think of that.
It's now a royal correspondent.
Yeah, why not? Listen, Journey still tours, but they're not really cranking it out like they used to.
It's probably a pretty good side gig.
He's got some extra time, so he can be a royal correspondent. So Neil Sean added... like the Joan character, she stung her victims to pieces. This is exactly how staff felt about working alongside Markle. Staff at the streaming service reportedly found Meghan difficult to deal with and described her as quite tough and bossy. Prince Harry didn't escape the office nicknames either. He was allegedly called Tim Nice But Dim, which is referencing a British comedy character.
Tim Nice But Dim?
Yeah, it's some character.
All right.
Sean maintains the Duke and Duchess of Sussex were unaware of the nicknames. Meghan and Harry's $20 million Spotify deal ended in 2023 with both sides calling it a mutual decision after the royal couple failed to deliver on content.
So when I want to learn about the royal family, I tend to gravitate towards Tommy Shaw's article.
Yeah. I mean, Styx is full of knowledge.
Have we ever observed on this show that Meghan Markle looks like Kathy? Have we ever?
There is a
mentioned
similarity.
that?
Yeah, remember we did on Fox, we did a side-by-side of my wedding picture and her wedding picture.
Okay, all right.
And when I was younger, there was a little bit of a resemblance, especially in that picture.
I've just been handed this note. I have breaking news.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is
bad?
This is breaking news.
Breaking news.
On this date, January 24th, 2020, Kathy Romano said, and I quote, "I think Meghan Markle and Prince Harry will return to Buckingham Palace in 5 years."
Wow.
So 5 years ago today, you
Nailed
said
it.
that they would be returning to Buckingham Palace in 5 years.
And do we give it do I have
the end of the year.
Yeah, do I have, that's what I was going to say. Okay.
We're in the new year. It's 2025,
All
and
right,
you've got
so I have the
clock's ticking, baby.
I
few
wouldn't
months.
give it to you. I mean, you
No?
said in 5 years, so it's
All right.
been 5 years.
How about to the end of the day?
to the end of the day?
All right.
If you would have said to the end of 2025, I would go, yeah. But there's a little grace
A
period,
little
I
grace
think.
period. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what happens.
Okay. So
Doesn't look good.
back to the regular news now. So 2 years after barely surviving a traumatic snowplow accident, Jeremy Renner is ready to tell the story of the mishap that almost took his life and the long road to recovery that followed. His new memoir, which is called My Next Breath, is going to relay the events of January 1st, 2023.
That's breath.
Breath. Took a bluff. When a 7-ton snowplow ran him over.
God almighty.
He said, they said my next breath will be released on April 29th. It's available for pre-order now wherever books are sold.
I wonder if he's going to read the Audible book.
Yeah, good. Probably.
Yeah.
I would think so. Usually actors will definitely do that. Let's see. Tom Brady is looking to sell, and if you're looking to buy, get ready to open up your wallet really, really wide. According to reports, the NFL legend is considering selling his waterfront estate on Florida's exclusive Indian Creek Island. The mansion is being privately shown to a handful of prospective buyers, with some bids already north of $150 million.
That is some of the choicest real estate on earth. And Preston, it has a 2-car garage.
Oh, my goodness.
Casey, I have an unfair and loaded question for you. But has Tom Brady become likable?
I've always liked him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, not like as an announcer.
He's getting there. It's funny because like Tony Romo was unlikable and then likable, and now he's unlikable again.
Okay. I like Tony Romo.
He's kind of annoying.
Who, Romo?
Tony Romo?
No.
Tom Brady.
In the broadcast.
I don't like Tom Brady.
I think he's coming. I'm coming around on him anyway, and like it seems, Casey, like because he was hanging out with Brandon Graham on the field a couple of weeks ago and like having some fun with that. Who the strip sack in the Super Bowl 5-6 years ago or whatever. I don't know. I kind of like him.
I will say his face is moving a little more now. So
Yeah?
I think the Botox is wearing off, so he almost looks a little more like a human.
Yeah, there was something weird going on there.
To give you an idea how high-end the area is, Jeff Bezos lives there, and next to his mansion is an empty piece of land.
Who?
Jeff Bezos.
Jeffrey Bezos.
And there's an empty piece of land with an asking price of $200 million. That's land with nothing on
Wait,
it.
Yeah.
where is this?
It's Indian Creek Island. Yeah.
Oh, is that the private island where like Shaq has a house and Tiger Woods, I think, got his?
I don't know if those guys do as well, but I wouldn't doubt it. But yeah, Bezos is right there as well.
I mean, you've got the luminaries of luminaries are living there.
Yep. I don't know what town that is near.
I think it's right near Miami. Like it's one of those islands off of Miami Beach, and so it's a quote unquote suburb of Miami, but it's its own entity.
Okay. Let's see what else we have. Dave Coullier's battle with cancer continues, and while we've gotten updates from him, his wife is providing her own perspective on how things are going. Melissa Coulier talked about her husband's fight. She said he has had some really tough days, and as the chemo has been accumulating, it gets a little tougher and more difficult. She added that on the days when he feels well enough, he tries to celebrate that. She says he has such positive energy, and you need that in order to really fight it. Every morning, if he's feeling up for it, we try to put on a song and do a little dance party with the dogs, because when you do feel good, you have to celebrate that too.
And that helps you recuperate. That keeping that positive energy, and it's hard though when your system is flooded with chemicals.
So he revealed last November he had been diagnosed with stage 3 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Let's see. One of the reasons we tune in the Super Bowl are for the commercials, and we know that corporate America is going to be pulling out all the stops and deliver clever little 30 and 60-second pieces of television. To revisit some all-time great ads, Nate Burleson and Daniel Rua are going to co-host Super Bowl Greatest Commercials, Funniest of All Time. The interactive special set to air on CBS on Wednesday, February 5th. Burleson and Rua will rank their favorite commercials before revealing their top 2 picks. Viewers will then vote live online on those 2 picks, ultimately choosing which Super Bowl commercial is the funniest of all time.
I think in general, would you agree we've had a big decrease in the importance and or entertainment value of the Super Bowl commercials?
I mean, me personally, yes.
Yeah.
I think so. I'm not sure what the tone of the country is, but it's gotten too much.
Yeah,
it's
too
gotten
much.
to be too much for me, especially the commercials that try to cram in too much. The ones that really overdo it. I'm like, you lost me.
And now that they do trailers for commercials, or, tease, stop it.
And and it's almost that you need to kind of grade them as you're watching them. If you're watching them with people, I'm over it. I'm done. But I'm not sure if people really still dig it or not. Leslie, there are a few things left. How about this? Vin Diesel shared a huge update for the Fast and Furious franchise.
It's going to be about family.
It's going to be about family, but he shared on his Instagram that the final installment will finally return home to Los Angeles.
It's going to be about the Addams family.
He explains that during the fires at Displaced LA, he said, my sister Jordana Brewster
Yes.
reached out to me and said, please have Universal film the rest of Fast X Part 2 in LA.
I said, whatever you want, baby.
Acknowledging.
That's nice.
By the way, how much do you think he gets paid to say I am Groot?
A lot.
Acknowledging that Los Angeles needs it now more than ever. The actor proudly confirmed Fast will be made in the City of Angels, where it all started 20.
Is it going to be simply the title? Is it going to just be Fast? It might be Fa at this time.
I don't know. So it all started there 25 years ago.
The last one had there was a huge cast in that movie. Jason Momoa, and I've been, and I think Casey and Nick, you've said it as well. There's a junk food level to a couple of them where you're like, okay, this is fun. When they hit space, that's a bridge too far.
Steve, this is probably the case for all of the movies. There are a few scenes in every one of those movies where you're like, wow, how'd they pull that one off, right? And that part of it is fun. It's just sitting through the rest of it where you're like, nah, I could probably be doing something else.
Yeah,
I mean, listen, they put Jason Voorhees in space, you know?
Yeah, they did, yeah.
This is true. Hey, can you do me a favor? What? Can you say thanks, baby, one more time?
Thanks, baby. Anything you want, baby. We'll bring it back to LA, baby.
Also, Brewster recently spoke on Diesel's creative process and championed making movies in Los Angeles to revitalize Tinseltown.
Go give Daddy a kiss.
She looks great, by the way, Jordana Brewster. She's defying.
Did she put on a little more weight? She's about
a deuce 50 now.
Well, when she came by here, and I think she's stunningly beautiful, she just looked a little gaunt to me. I don't know if you remember that or not. It was a few years ago when the show Dallas was coming out. So.
Do you know who's troublingly waifish? Ariana Grande.
Yeah, I know.
Agreed. Yeah.
I mean, have a sandwich.
Yeah, I think so too.
Eat a hoagie.
Like a little unhealthy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because she's a beautiful.
Yeah.
But Jordana Brewster's looking fantastic. There's a photo of her, Steve, on her Instagram account from the Golden Globes. And she looks like $1 million.
You know what? She was sweet as hell when she came in.
Yeah, she really was.
She was. All right. We can talk about movies that are opening this weekend.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right, so we got Into the Deep opening today. Action thriller starring Scout Taylor Compton, Richard Dreyfuss, and Stuart Townsend. Modern-day pirates on the hunt for sunken drugs kidnap a boat of tourists and force them to dive into shark-infested waters to retrieve contraband. It's an hour and 29 minutes long. It's rated R, limited theater release, and it only clocks in at 13% via Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow.
Then you have Inheritance. It is a mystery and thriller, and it stars Phoebe Dynevor, I'm not sure how you pronounce her name, Rhys Ifans, and Clara Blacksendale. When Maya learns that her father was once a spy, she suddenly finds herself at the center of an international conspiracy. In her quest for answers, Maya becomes a target and must travel the globe, mastering her father's skills and unraveling the mysteries of his past in this gripping espionage thriller. Hour and 41 minutes long, rated R, wide theater release, and Rotten Tomatoes score is at 50%.
Not a good weekend for releases.
Rhys Ifans, Nick pulled up his picture. He was the field goal kicker in The Replacements.
Yes, you know he is. He's also the villain in the first Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He's Otto.
Becomes the lizard. Yeah.
And then in Notting Hill, he's Spike.
He's
the
good.
roommate. I like that guy.
Otto Hightower in the Game of Thrones reboot, and he was in the Harry Potter franchise as well. He's
yes,
Zenas?
Luna Lovegood's
father.
dad.
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot his first name.
Yeah, but he runs the Daily Quibbler.
Yes. Quibbler? All right, let's get ready to break. Hey. Oh, this is an announcement?
Huh?
Oh, what? Clips. Oh, clips. Damn it. I forgot about the clips.
I didn't.
Got to find them. Hang on. Did I throw them away?
Possible.
Possible. They were given to me.
They were.
By an old man with a cloak.
And we can't do mystery clips because we don't know these actors.
All right.
Hang on, I'm looking.
I'm going to like it.
Xenophilius Lovegood, Preston.
Xenophilius.
There we go.
Hang on.
How the hell? What the who?
I literally got to go through the trash.
That's all right, man. Whoa, just
We got him again. Here we go.
I apologize.
is it time for a garbage pail report?
I don't know what I did with it. No, it's okay. All right, got him. So, Missing You follows a detective who discovers connections between her estranged fiance and her father's unsolved murder. In this clip, executive producer Nicola Schindler talks about casting Rosalind Elazar for the dynamic character. Here we go.
When we were casting Missing You, we were looking for a woman who could be strong, funny, romantic, and most of all, a brilliant actress. And that's what Ros brings you in spades. She's so clever at both carrying the plot and carrying the emotion at the same time. So we were so lucky when we got her. And then once we had Ros, we just built a cast around her.
Missing You is streaming now on Netflix, and here is our next clip. It's always fun to see the properties, featured in my lottery dream home. Love that show, by the way. And in this clip, host David Brumstad explains how the show stays engaging for each season. Here we go.
One, it's a feel-good show. And two, it's a fantasy show because we're not showing massive houses. So people actually think they can win the lottery. Our winners are not really, most of our winners are $1 million. That's attainable for people. People are like, I can win $1 million. I can do that.
I don't give a
I so want to hang out with this guy sometime. He seems like the happiest dude ever.
He does. And then there are two of them, right? Is there a woman? I'm thinking of a show where they have a lot of people who have won the lottery, and they sort of give them, again, a couple of choices for houses. Is that this show?
That's what they do on this show, but it's just David is the only host.
Okay.
He's tattooed all over.
Which is crazy. He's like all the way up to his neck and everything. Yeah.
And he's this fabulous gay guy who just is like the funnest person in the world.
I've seen the show.
I would love to have him on the show.
And because Preston, also, it's wild when they sort of overestimate what they have. Like, in real estate, that money burns up quickly.
Oh, yeah. But that's a good show. So My Lottery Dream Home has new episodes. It's Fridays on HGTV. All right, and that's our entertainment report.
Yay.
We got a lot happening on the program. Our next Preston and Steve Ticket Blitz is only 10 minutes away. Your chance to get tickets to the game on Sunday and go to the Philly Sports Trip tailgate party as well. We're going to have Sam Morril, who's going to be in town for an appearance at the Miller Theater on February 6th, joining us. Dov Davidoff is going to be stopping by the studio this morning. And when we get back, it's Connoisseur time, people. Stay with us. We'll return in just a moment.
Steve on 93.3.
Out in waves. So I think this can increase exponentially. I wouldn't be surprised if we're looking at something, these things come and people say, I never thought we'd get there. I'm always amazed, like when they said, travel at the speed of light.
Yeah.
Never be achieved. And it still seems like impossible. However, they're starting to do things where they're sending particles at the speed of light. So, we'll see. You never know.
Yeah.
We're also going to have a bunch of really, athletic mice.
Right. I thought that was pretty great news.
That is good news.
So,
every baby steps or mouse steps.
Mouse steps, if you will. Speaking of challenges, of online challenges, there was one, Steve. It's called the Skull Breaker Challenge.
Oh, this dumb thing.
Yeah, I saw this a few weeks ago. There was a video. Somebody had posted a clip of these two girls doing it to.
It's all over
girl.
TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah, but this was a couple of weeks ago. That
right.
Supposedly, and the story was the girl was like special needs, and they were bullying her, and but anyway, so that turned me off to it immediately. But yeah, anything that talks about breaking your skull and a challenge, I may want to pass on. But you've seen what this is?
No, I only saw the. That there's like a big up in arms about this.
Yeah, so it's three people. Two people are in on it, one person isn't. So you stand side by side, you're facing a camera, and the idea is the two people on the outside jump up in the air, and then after they jump, the person in the middle jumps by themselves up. And I guess they tell them, they give them some kind of setup to make them do it. And as the person in the middle jumps up, the other two knock their feet out from underneath the person in the middle. And I mean,
like, why?
Face plant. I mean, we're talking.
That's not cool.
Broken neck, broken, nose, whatever. Really nasty falls that can happen. And yeah, that's apparently a thing right now.
Oh, man.
A local kid got injured having this happen.
Well, and skulls have been cracked. Yeah, so that's part of the deal. And I mean, you're doing it on concrete and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm honestly sick of these goddamn things with eating Tide and all this stuff. And it's like, come on.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, have you guys seen the invisible string trick? That one.
Describe it.
All right. Okay. So I wasn't sure if you've seen it.
No,
or
I have not.
No, you take somebody, you sit them down in front of you, and you act like you have a string.
Oh, I have seen it. Yep. Okay.
It's a little bit funny, right?
It's
Okay.
kind of funny, yeah.
All right.
So go ahead and finish describing how this works.
So you walk up and you say, "All right, I'm holding the string," and you act like you're putting the string into their ear and then pulling it out the other side, and then you ask them to hold one side of the string.
It's a joke. They don't think there's really a string
Right,
there.
of
It's
course,
just play along,
Yeah.
follow me, do this for me.
All right, so you're holding one side of the string. I'm holding the other side of the string. Okay, now yank that side of the string really hard. And so when they yank it really hard, your hand slaps them across the face because it's holding onto the other side of the string.
Yeah.
So
it's similar to that is funny, but you're not gonna smash someone. There's one that involves also with the AFV has videos of it constantly with trying to catch the dollar or the card against the wall with their forehead. You've seen that.
Yes. My son tried to do the string one to me.
Right.
And I go, I've already seen it. And then he's like, no, you got to do it. I go, but I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen, and then,
It's so bad for you to do it.
oh, so guess what he did? He just slapped me across the face.
Why not just cut out the whole act?
Just
and do
punch
that
you in the face.
Or, hey, you want to see something? Whap.
I've tied an invisible string to the end of this baseball bat, and I'm going to put it through your ear. So yank on it hard.
I saw this other one. A mother's been filmed letting her teenage son slap her breasts to the tune of a song as part of a TikTok challenge.
What?
Uh-huh.
No. No.
Aiden Ridings, who is 17, filmed the video and uploaded it last week in a strange attempt to gain more followers. The 8-second video starts with the two standing opposite each other as the 2008 hit Undercover Martin by Two Door Cinema Club plays. The teenager dances to the tune before hitting one breast after the other in quick succession in time with the beat. This is his mom, mind
His
you.
mom.
Yeah.
No, this isn't okay.
No. You
This is not okay.
You wouldn't let Jace do that, Kathy?
And the mom let him do that.
Yeah.
Let Jace do it to the
No.
baby shark.
Oh my God.
So let's see here. What does it say? He said both he and his mother were happy with the video and they found it amusing. So is this a challenge? Slapping the boobs?
It is now.
I don't know.
We should create listen, I think there's no challenge you could create on social media, especially on TikTok, that somebody would not try to emulate. No matter how patently, obviously, harmful. Dangerous and harmful.
Yeah.
Ace, what about the one that I've been sending you that I want to do with you? The
I want to do
light
that one.
switch.
The switch one, yeah.
I hit the switch. It's some song. I don't know what it is. Or I hit the light switch or something like that. And it's just people swapping. So it's two people in the video. The song says hit the switch or I hit the switch. It goes to black for a second and comes back. And then the two people have basically reversed roles. So like people are changing clothes. One is like a father and a son. It's kind of cute.
All right, it's a little video finagling.
When do you get to hit someone's breasts?
All right. Yeah, when do I get to hit somebody's boobs? What is this?
I've never heard the song before.
This is the song.
So,
all right. This is the hit your mom's boobs song. I guess it happens right here. Oh, whap whap.
Yeah, that's you can also finger your grandmother.
Oh my God, Steve!
Yeah, that's another riff.
not.
You guys have not seen that?
Nope.
No.
Oh, not once.
Yeah. It's very funny.
That's on TikTok?
Yeah, TikTok.
And I even gave him a kiss on the cheek.
We should go home.
Peeper.
It's called the finger gum gum.
Yeah, finger gum gum.
Oh.
There's gum on my finger. Gum on my finger.
Oh, my God.
Wow. Queen Elizabeth has a reputation for being a bit staid, but the 94-year-old is quite different behind the scenes, according to her biographer.
I'm working as an escort.
Sally Bedell Smith, author of Elizabeth the Queen, The Life of a Modern Monarch.
So how does she let her hair down?
Well, Smith tells people that she spoke to an insider at her estate in Norfolk, Sandringham, who said you can hear her laugh throughout that big house. She has a big laugh.
Really?
So apparently she's cackling and giggling down the hallways all the time.
That is a big laugh for the Queen.
All over the house.
Apparently, while watching a rerun of Prince Charles' 1981 wedding to Princess Diana, she said, "Oh, there's my Miss Piggy face." She has the ability to laugh at herself, according to this person. Smith told people that during a shoot celebrating her Diamond Jubilee in 2012, she told the photographer, Barry Jeffrey, to just keep the camera rolling as she broke from the norm. And the Queen proceeded to strike a series of poses, slipping her hands in and out of her pockets, placing them onto her hips, mimicking the stances of a professional model.
Tongue between her fingers?
Her dressmaker and close confidant, Angela Kelly, had said that, yeah, she was having fun in that photo shoot.
I'd love to see that.
They said they stood in disbelief. The Queen was a natural, Kelly marveled. Barry and I felt like we were experiencing something really special, a moment never to be repeated.
There's great footage of her on the set of Over the Top, where she is.
Was she the final battle?
She was the final battle.
She put a crown on backwards.
I need to go back and read the cast from that movie because I've forgotten how many people were in
cameos.
that. Yeah, well. I did see it was like a Reddit thread recently, and someone was talking about which way you face during the shower when you take a shower.
Oh, okay.
And so they were saying that when not
all I
washing,
did was get out of the shower.
not washing their hair, they face forward. When they are washing their hair, they face with the shower to the back. And I assume this is a woman who may not wash her hair every day. She has long hair, so some women don't.
My hair is moderate length.
But I didn't know. I'm spinning around constantly in the shower.
You're doing like spins.
I face towards, I turn back.
I have One Direction.
I turn back. You do One Direction,
and I performed.
This is my first I've ever heard of somebody facing one way in the shower.
I perform songs from One Direction too. No, so actually, it's actually because of the construction of the shower. So my bath, I have my own bathroom. When we bought the house, it was more like there was a tub with a. With a curtain that went across, and it was so. My brother-in-law built a shower stall,
a walk-in shower.
Right. So, but it's shallow. So, if I were to stand, my shoulders might be touching both sides. So I turn to the side, and I have the shower.
Oh, okay.
So I'm facing the glass. I'm facing the wall. I'm facing the four cats looking at me naked. but let me ask you this: when you get out of the shower, do you immediately wrap yourself in a towel? I do not.
Oh my God!
I dry off in the shower.
Oh, me too.
I do.
I do.
I
don't wrap in a towel.
When I lived at home with my mommy, and I had no concept.
Mommy, come dry me.
I had no concept of what people did around the house. I used to use 2 towels every single time. Like now I use 1 towel and I use it
a week.
For like a week.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh God, laundry sucks, right?
I know.
Dude, my mom
had like
2 towels every single time. One around my waist, one around my torso.
I have a completely separate question because Kathy said with drying the hair and getting too hot and sweaty. After a workout.
Oh, yes, the worst.
And then you shower and you get out and I'm
sweating?
like, I'm sweating.
I have to shower again.
I take a shower.
So here's what I do in the summer.
I hate that.
I have my clothes laid out back in my room and the AC. I'll put the AC on the ceiling fan. I come out of.
You stand in front of it.
Yeah, I go out. Yes, I would.
It's a good idea.
Just to dry off. I'm
Sure.
like, I didn't go through all this to re-sweat.
When I was in high school on the swim team, our practices were 5 a.m. I had no idea that. Dude, listen, you're swimming like 2 miles in practice.
It's a workout.
That is a
you were
workout.
sweating?
I was sweating, but you don't know you're sweating because you're in the pool.
Yeah.
You don't know that you're sweating until you go to put your school uniform on, and everything is just sticking to you. Yeah, I had no clue.
Somebody wants to vouch for the towel warmer. I'm going to go to Tom. Hi, Tom. Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Ed. What's up, bud? Should I just say that every time now? Okay. All right, Tom, what's up?
I don't know. We were getting our down.
Oh, my God, he's possessed. Tom?
Yes, I'm here.
He still sounds like it. Tom, are you there?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Your connection is horrible, Tom.
WMMR goes into lockdown.
I put my towels in fire.
Coming to kill all of you.
I bathe in the river Styx, which is molten fire.
Oh my God.
That is the most terrifying phone line I've ever heard.
I feel like we need to get clips from him.
Let's see if it clears up. Tom, are you still there?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
I'm still here. It's a better now.
He's calling from Jupiter. Wow, Tom, your phone line. Your phone line sucks, bud. So. But it's
WMMR.
Thanks, Kath. Later this morning, 8 o'clock hour, Sam Morril is going to be joining us. 9 o'clock hour, Dov Davidoff. That means the 7 o'clock hour is time for Connoisseur.
Yeah.
So we got to get.
It's time for the Connoisseur Friday edition. Kind of the always edition now.
Yeah, the always edition. It's on Friday. But we talk about food and restaurants and drink and all kinds of good stuff in that world. And we have some stuff to give away, too. But we will begin with this article. I found this interesting. This is from the website Mashed. There's all kinds of good stuff they have on Mashed. And the team of experts there are sharing the top trends that will be taking over in 2025 for cocktails.
Now you're talking.
I saw that. I think this was in the elevator the other day.
Oh, really? Okay.
Is it, can I guess?
Yeah, sure.
Like more tropical drinks like Miami Vice and strawberry daiquiris and things like that?
Well, there's a few different things. That's one of the things, yes.
Okay.
But I'm going to start with the fact that they think that cocktails with savory ingredients are going to be big this year.
Okay.
So it says that move over drinks made with sweet ingredients like fruit juices and sodas and make room for savory. And they have some interesting combinations. So beyond Bloody Marys, there's the tomato teeny.
Tomato teeny.
Which this sounds interesting to me. All right. So muddled cherry tomatoes, vermouth, gin, lemon juice, and champagne vinegar.
Oh, man.
That sounds unique.
I'd try that, yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely try that. The Tom Collins, and Ka is spelled Khi. So it's a spin on the classic Tom Collins. And I believe a Tom Collins is just gin and lemon juice and simple syrup.
So as a
pretty classic, easy drink.
As a non-drinker, are there quite a lot of quote-unquote savory cocktails?
Not a ton that I know of.
Like
I mean, the Bloody Mary
Marys.
is the first one I think of. The Bull Shot is one.
Do you know what I've had sometimes when I'll order a tomato juice in a restaurant, for having a meal and have a glass of tomato juice before. They'll give me the tomato juice mix that I assume they use for
Bloody Marys.
Bloody Marys.
Yeah, probably.
That is very spicy.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But Kath, what about your pickle martini?
I was just going to say, my pickle martini would fall into that.
Absolutely. I guess maybe a Gibson would as well. That's pickled onions in either gin or vodka.
What about a turkey dinner martini?
That I would have to sample. Yeah. So the Tom Collins, Kha Collins, is a riff on the regular Tom Collins. It's a bit of it has Tom Kha Thai coconut soup in it.
Tom Kha?
Yeah, I guess so. Tom Kha, Kha, Thai coconut soup with the cleverly named, and then there's another drink called the Celine Dijon. I don't know about this one. It's made of Dijon mustard, passion fruit mixed with tequila, Sauvignon Blanc, and lime juice.
I mean, I would try that.
Yeah, right?
Yes, all of
it's
those
got a couple of your favorites in there.
I just don't know about I just don't know about them mixed together.
Yeah, the Dijon mustard is the kicker in there because passion fruit, tequila, Sauvignon Blanc, and lime juice.
All
yeah.
okay.
But Dijon
the mustard?
Maybe just a hint.
How, I assume that they're just, brainstorming and mixing and trying and
the mixologists do that.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
It's it's R&D.
Yeah.
It's research and development. They work on it.
You want to know something really stupid about me and the drink Tom Collins? There was a dude in college that I really didn't care for at all. His name was Tom Cullen. And as a result, I hated the drink. I was like, you know what? I don't like Tom Cullen, and I'm not going to drink a Tom Collins.
This drink reminds me of a douchebag.
Yeah, and I never have come around on it, which is a stupid mental block in my brain. I think it's time for me to try a Tom Collins again.
By the way, we need to create a drink called the douchebag.
The douchebag.
3 douchebags, please.
I'll take 3.
Yeah.
What would be in the douchebag?
Well, all right, so what's in douche?
Vinegar.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
I don't know, man.
It's got to be vinegar. It's got to be water.
Well, that'd be more
right?
like the Summer's Eve, I guess. But yeah, it would be. So
Is that
it's a
it?
douche, yeah.
That's not the name of a drink, too, is it? The Summer's Eve?
No,
I mean, I know what it is.
Yeah.
But
it should be, right?
Right. Sounds refreshing.
I'll have a Summer's Eve.
Oh, that sounds good. I'll have one, too.
All right. Anyhow, I'm going to move on to some other drinks.
Away from the douche.
Also, they're predicting dirty dump cocktails this year. And believe it or not,
I just took a dirty dump.
I make some like this. So these are made by adding ingredients to a shaker, but instead of straining them after mixing, the drink contains little bits of herbs and fruits for your enjoyment.
Okay.
So I have a signature drink that I call the Copper Tail. I made it up. We call our shore house Copper Top. We gave it a name. And so I made a house drink. It's called the Copper Tail. And so it has mint in it. And I put the mint in a shaker with ice, and it breaks it up into a bunch of pieces. And when I pour it out in the drink, all the pieces float in the drink. So I guess that would be considered a dirty dump cocktail. So yeah, we're looking
the
at
equivalent
pictures.
of orange juice with pulp. You got something floating around in it.
Yeah, exactly. Then they're also saying that fancy shots and shooters with lots of ingredients. So shots are usually basic, containing just straight liquor. Shooters contain several ingredients, and this year they're being served with more flair from upscale ingredients like house-made syrup. So it sounds like a more fancy return to back when I was in my 20s. We had kamikazes, purple hooters. There were
Alabama Slammers.
Yeah, there were all these shots that you would order. And you don't see anybody doing that anymore.
Let me ask you, and I don't know what the situation is as far as places where college age would frequent. Are Jell-O shots and things like that? They used to be huge. And
Well, hey, you got Jell-O Man.
Jello Man.
Yeah.
I'm
talking about like
at parties.
You're talking about like at a bar. I don't think that they typically sell that right at bars. I think that's more of like a homemade thing. You do that at parties. The bars are just straight liquor, or like what Preston said. When we were kids, we would get those like Swedish fish.
Right. What about the tutors? Do you remember they walk around with their little test tubes? Are those still a thing?
I haven't seen
That's
it.
We don't go. I don't go to places
That's
like
basically
that.
my question, because we would do events and they would always have people walking around with all those things.
Marissa's the one who goes out. She's shaking her head now.
All right.
Yeah, but also like she does not go into college bars. I was in Westchester, and we, ran by a few college bars. Actually, that was the one I got kicked out of. Old times. I didn't see any of that there.
Okay. All right. Also, it says a focus on tropical flavors. It says pina colada fans are going to love this trend, which moves beyond the classic cocktail to feature some less common tropical drinks. There's the Miami Vice, Kathy, like you said, which, man, we drank those in Jamaica like crazy. Remember that? Combines pina colada and strawberry daiquiri with bitters-infused strawberries, and the Halo, which is a bright purple drink that gets its vibrant hue from oob milk? Ubi milk? U-B-E?
Booby milk.
No, U-B-E. I don't know what that is. Added to light rum, Brazilian rum, pineapple juice, fresh lime juice, has a dehydrated mango or pineapple garnish. So
it's like a bubble tea with coconut milk.
Oh.
Ube.
Got it. Ube. Thank you. All right. And then the last thing on their list are micro mini cocktails. Tiny alcoholic drinks.
I'm out.
Will be trendy this year.
I can't even see the goddamn thing.
Tiny.
allowing people to sample different cocktails without overdoing it and suffering later with a massive hangover. Pretty much any cocktail can be enjoyed in mini form.
I'll take 100 of these.
All you need is the right size drinkware, but some popular ones include the one-sip martini, the snackiri.
Oh, my
I'm sorry, the snackery, not daiquiri, and the mini Manhattan.
Wait, unless this is all coming together in a flight.
Yeah, that I can see.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
But if I'm not, what? No.
Come on. No. What's the point?
I'm looking to get hammered.
All right, we will see. We're going to play our first clip from a film. It has to do with food or drink. Let's see if we can identify what movie this is from.
From that day on, we was always together. Ginny and me was like peas and carrots.
All right, 215-263-WMMR. A gimme, if you will. Order up. Moving on to our next story. By the way, Nick found a text from somebody who says that they do indeed sell. It says, I'm a liquor rep in New Jersey, and we sell tutors.
There you go.
So,
All right.
All right. We missed it. January 22nd was National Hot Sauce Day, and I'm doing this for our buddy Kyle. Cast Iron Kyle.
Oh, Kyle Seep.
He's a diehard hot sauce fan, and he had texted us on Hot Sauce Day. But after analyzing their own purchase data, Instacart finds that Frank's Red Hot was the #1 choice for hot sauce lovers in 29 states in 2024.
We always have a bottle of that in our fridge, and then we have one on standby.
What do you like to put it on regularly?
Like the ad campaign works on me. I put that on everything. I put it on eggs a lot. I put it on pizza. I'll put it on a bagel in the morning if I need a little bit of spice. I like a little bit of a kick. Yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
Chili, yeah, I can use it in that.
There are some regional favorites as well. In parts of the South, people prefer Texas Pete, which is the top pick in the Carolinas and Virginia.
Texas
Pete! In Texas, Mississippi, Louisiana, Tennessee, and Arkansas, Louisiana brand is #1. The rest of the country is divided between Frank's Red Hot and Berman's, except California, where they prefer Tapatio, New Mexico, where it's 505 Southwestern, and Hawaii goes for Tabasco.
What about I'm going to say chalupa. It's not chalupa. What's that called?
Chalulo?
Yeah. That stuff's pretty good too.
Cholula. Yeah. So that one's on here. So here are the tops.
You're not a
not really
hot sauce dude, though, right?
No. We have Hui Fong Foods Sriracha, Cholula, Berman's, Taco Bell.
What?
Tabasco, Texas Pete, Louisiana brand, Tapatio, and Valentina. And those are the hot one. Those are the top ones across the country, according to Instacart.
Did you see, Preston? There is from the actual YouTube series, The Hot Ones. There is a collection of hot sauces you can buy. That apparently they're selling them now.
Yeah. It's good marketing.
Makes total sense.
With the Taco Bell ones, can you buy that in a store, or is it you just have to take the packs out of the Taco Bell when you?
I wouldn't be surprised if you could, because you can buy Arby's sauce and horsey sauce and Chick-fil-A sauce. And
I'm
all
guessing
that.
you can get those at the store. Yep. All right. Let's see if we can identify the movie. This is easy.
From that day on, we was always together. Ginny and me was like peas and carrots.
We are going to go to Michelle. Hi, Michelle. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, Michelle. Name that movie.
Forrest Gump.
Yeah. You are a winner. Casey, what are we giving her?
Michelle, we're going to give you a pair of tickets as MMR Rocks Jet Wednesday, June 4th at the Fillmore, Philadelphia. Now, tickets will go on sale for the show today at 10 a.m. via Ticketmaster.
All right, here's our next food clip. What movie is this from?
What's the torch for? 2,000 degrees, Mick. Enough to turn steel into butter.
Butter. All right, 215-263-WMMR. Order up. Got a local story for you here. I saw this in a press release this morning. Girl Scout cookie-inspired hand-dipped milkshakes return to East Passyunk's Punk Burger. They have real Girl Scout cookies inside. I think I have two. Do I have two local
Two Girl
stores?
Scout? Oh.
No, not two girls. And I thought I had two local stores. All right, anyway, so from now till February 28th, stop it. The Punk Burger Mini Moo Arcade is open, and all quarters from the arcade will 100% be donated to Girl Scouts of Eastern Pennsylvania's Girl Experience and Outreach Programming. As a mother of 7 girls, the owner, Marlo Dilks, wants to support a program that helps girls realize their full potential and break the glass ceiling. So Dilk said that there are 7 shakes, including vegan varieties, each in honor of my 7 girls. I'm so proud of them. I want them and every little girl out there to know you will change the world one day. The cookies are purchased from local troops in an effort to support their work, which is cool.
Nice.
And here are the drinks they have available. You have the toasted coconut caramel sea salt shake, the dark chocolate salted brownie shake.
Yes.
The mint cookie shake, of course.
Of course.
Chocolate peanut butter swirl, the vegan mint cookie shake, the vegan chocolate peanut butter swirl, and the vegan caramel cookies and cream.
You got a solid roster there.
Yeah, the shakes are $11, and they include real Girl Scout cookies. And if you want to bring your own booze, they will allow that too.
Wow.
And they have some suggestions. So for the toasted coconut sea salt caramel cookie shake, a dark spiced rum will bring out the vanilla and coconut. For the mint cookie shake, an Irish whiskey like Tullamore Dew is spicy enough to be not overpowered. For the chocolate peanut butter swirl, a barrel-aged rum will work. For lighter and sweeter boozy shake lovers, flavored vodkas also make the perfect BYO addition. I am personally... I don't do ice cream and liquor. I
don't like it.
I do not care for that
But
combination.
you do in a way.
Okay.
Your Haagen-Dazs flavors that are liquor flavored.
They have liquor flavored, but I mean, when the actual alcohol
I got it.
is in there, it just doesn't jibe right for me.
Do the Girl Scouts have an alcohol line?
They do.
Yeah.
They do a line of moonshine, Steve. Yes.
I keep forgetting one of my favorite things to get after dinner. When you said that, I popped up, but it's not liquor. It's espresso. It's the affogato, the espresso over vanilla ice cream. It's so good.
Yes.
Delicious.
Boner time.
Yes.
Crazy good.
I mean, you can probably put some booze in that.
Well, yeah.
Like a Kahlua or something.
I would like a lot of booze in this, please.
I like Bailey's on vanilla ice cream, Preston. You don't. That doesn't do anything for you.
Bailey's okay. Some of these sweeter flavored ones.
I mean, it's
maybe.
the dessert.
Yeah.
And it's it's when you want more alcohol and you haven't had enough. You put a little bit of Bailey's on your vanilla ice cream. Nice little treat.
Waiter, more alcohol, please.
All right. Let's see if you can identify this movie. Here we go.
What's the torch for? 2,000 degrees, Mick. Enough to turn steel into butter.
All right, we will go to Trevor and try to get the answer. Hi, Trevor. Morning, bud.
Morning, MMR Rock.
Hi.
We love you, man. What movie is that from?
That's from Punisher with Tom Dane.
You got it, buddy. Yes. And since you got that right, The Punisher, here's what we have for you.
Hey, Trevor, you won our final pair of tickets as MMR Rocks Jet. It's going to be on Wednesday, June 4th at the Fillmore, Philadelphia, and tickets go on sale for this show today at 10 a.m. via Ticketmaster.
All right, let us do it. Time for the fast food roundup. Oh, wait. No, it's not. I got to do a clip first. Damn it.
No.
I try to do the proper order, and I always mess it up. All right, let's see if you can identify what movie this is from.
It's the Pico de Gallo, man. Seize your hands. We're barbarians, after all, man. Every once in a while, I go down to the boardwalk, and I just throw my own feces like a gorilla.
215-263-WMMR. Call if you know the answer now. We get to the fast food roundup. I think I only have 2 fast food stories to pass along to you, but they are certainly interesting ones. We'll start with this Valentine's Day. Got a little sweeter. Dairy Queen is bringing back 2 fan favorite red velvet desserts starting on the 27th. They have the red velvet cake blizzard treat, which blends rich red velvet cake pieces, cream cheese icing into their iconic vanilla soft serve. Or for a shareable dessert, the heart-shaped red velvet blizzard Cupid cake layers the same irresistible flavors with ice cream, perfect for lovebirds or anyone planning to save a slice for later on. They're here for a limited time.
I had a traumatic incident occur recently. I sat down to what I thought was going to be an exemplary piece of red velvet cake. So listen, the icing is really, it's essential.
Yes.
But you can't drop the ball on the cake itself.
No.
True.
And this did. And I actually...
What a disappointment.
I actually ran my snowmobile over a fox.
Oh, God. Stop. Steve.
That was you?
It was me.
No,
well, see, I didn't know you were upset about red velvet cake, so that's
I thought you just hated animals. And
No, I'm a big animal guy. That's why it was so weird.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Marisa, I need you to do me a favor. On my desk, you'll see the file that I have there, the one that says Con, will you grab the top stack, please? I forgot one of my stories. All right, so then also in the fast food roundup, love is in the air and on your plate as Chick-fil-A's heart-shaped trays make their return.
Love is in the air on your Chick-fil-A plate.
Perfect for Valentine's Day, Galentine's Day, or just because. The trays can be filled with fan favorites like 30 nuggets, 10 Chick and Minis, or even chocolate chunk cookies.
I like the cookies.
Which are available at select locations nationwide from January 27th through February 22nd. They are a sweet and savory way to show someone that you care or a treat for yourself as well. So, yeah, we're going to see more of these Valentine's Day. You know what's huge for Valentine's Day, and I believe it's in Japan?
Yes.
Is Kentucky Fried Chicken.
It's like off the charts popular.
It's become the thing to do.
Yeah. Kentucky Fried Chicken.
You have to book it in advance.
Yes. And even then.
Yeah. You're lucky if you get in. Supposedly that's the case. I think they should angle for that here.
Yeah. Hey, and by the way, if you are a big fan of buffalo chicken dip,
I am.
What I suggest, or making it, what I suggest you do is go get nuggets from Chick-fil-A.
You know what you're doing now.
And yeah, I know. What am I doing?
You're doing a hack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing, bro. Yeah. But use that chicken rather than, you can tell when you're doing buffalo chicken, you're like, dude, this is canned chicken. You piece of crap. Don't do that.
I like your idea.
Yeah. Because I've done it with other ways. I've gotten like rotisserie chickens from Acme and stuff like that. But dude, if you could go get like chicken strips or the nuggets from Chick-fil-A, because also the breading around it also adds a little bit of a flair to it as well.
Breaded chicken in buffalo chicken dip?
Yeah, you just kind of slice that, cut it on up and dice it up. Yeah.
Okay. All right, we will now see if someone knows what movie this is from.
It's the Pico de Gallo, man. Seize your hands. We're barbarians after all, man. Every once in a while, I go down to the boardwalk and I just throw my own feces like a gorilla.
All right, we'll go to Joe. Joe, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, name that movie, Joe.
Is it I Love You, Man?
Absolutely. Hang on, Joe. You, sir, are a winner. Here's what we have for you.
All right, Joe, you just won yourself a 4-pack of tickets for the Philadelphia Golf Show, and this is going on January 31st through February 2nd at the Greater Philadelphia Expo Center in Oaks. For tickets and information, you can visit PhiladelphiaGolfShow.com.
All right, Marissa went and fetched this story that I meant to get to with the other local story that I had.
Sure.
So I'm going to mention this before I play the next clip. The husband and wife duo behind Grace and Proper Chris Fetfatzes, I'm going to mess up these names because they're lengthy, and Heather Anacherico announced a grand opening of Sonny's Cocktails joint at 1508 South Street, and they opened yesterday and today, kind of their grand reopening. So
Kathy Romano has joined the conversation.
So they opened to critical buzz in 2022 and closed because a fire took nearly 3 years to bring the place back to life. They had a fire. So Sonny's is back with expertly made cocktails, spins on comfort food classics, underground pizza, a new chef in the kitchen, Instagram-ready throwback vibes, and even a classic pool table, they said. So they put out a press release, and I wanted to make sure that I
support them.
Hit that for
nice.
because it was 2022. Yeah, they had a fire, and it's taken them a while to get back and running. So once again, Sonny's Cocktail Joint. It's a grand reopening on South Street, and it's happening this weekend. So make sure you check that out. All right, now I will play another clip for you. Here we go.
I say we drink the wine, eat the dogs, and use the papers for musket lighting.
Eat the dogs.
Yeah, dog is a fine meal.
Good heavens.
All right, 215-263-WMMR. Call if you know. Order up. Another semi-local story that we'll pass along. Marissa sent me this morning. I thought it was pretty cool. So our good friend G Love has teamed up with Christopher Curtin of Eclat Chocolate to create a chocolate bar that's not only a delectable treat, but also a service to our community. So it's called the Kitchen Sink Chocolate Bar. And it's a flavorful nod to Philadelphia and features peanut butter, caramel, Dutch pretzels, and Fleur de Sel sea salt combined with Eclat's milk and dark signature chocolate blend. That sounds good.
Is this the place in Westchester?
It is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So G Love said, Master chocolatier Christopher Curtin and I devised our kitchen sink bar to bring my late night munchie madness to the world of hot chocolates. And our secret ingredient, he said, why, it's love, of course.
And it says it right on the inside of the container, love.
All profits from the kitchen sink bar are going to be donated to Project Home, which is pretty awesome.
Very nice.
Empowering individuals to break the cycle of homelessness by providing access to affordable housing, employment, healthcare, and education. So the G Love Kitchen Sink Bar is available at Eclat Chocolate Shop, and that's at 24 South High Street in Westchester. You can also get it at eclatchocolate.com, and Eclat is spelled E-C-L-A-T. I assume that's how you pronounce it.
You know what?
Eclat.
Eclat.
Yeah. I did I had to do a video for them a few years ago, and I had to say it like 900 times.
Eclat?
Yeah.
Eclat.
Eclat.
Well, hey, baby.
Yes, this is Eclat. I'd like to have some of that G Love chocolate, please.
And the merch stand at G Love shows. By the way, he's playing tonight and tomorrow at City Winery. Wow.
So Marissa just
awesome.
handed me a note. I used to love the chocolatier in the lobby of the Bellevue, and this is apparently where this Eclat is now.
What? That's
the lobby of the Bellevue?
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
All right. Yep.
That's them that opened it?
Yeah, there's like the most, it used to be a very incredible chocolatier, but I'm glad to see they're carrying on the tradition because that one went out of business, and now this is obviously in its place.
Where's the Bellevue?
In the city.
Yeah, in the city.
Okay. I haven't been there.
In the city of Philadelphia.
Oh, okay.
They are listeners of the show, the people at the shop.
Awesome.
Then they should bring us some stuff. Hey,
Well, you see, I was going to suggest for that, but the money raised goes to Project Home. So
It probably
no.
has some
Well, not
extra.
this one, but any kind of chocolate. Listen,
just bring us, just empty out the cash register.
somebody's birthday is tomorrow. Maybe they could come by today, right now.
I don't know. Somebody's also on a diet right now. So.
Yeah.
Not on their birthday, they ain't.
All right. Let's see if you can tell us what movie this is from.
I say we drink the wine, eat the dogs, and use the papers for musket lighting.
Eat the dogs.
Yeah, dog is a fine meal.
Good heavens.
All right. We'll see if Mike knows the answer to that. Mike, how you doing, man?
Gadzooks.
Gadzooks, buddy. All right. So name that movie.
The Patriot.
Yeah. Correct. Hang on. You're a winner, sir.
All right, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
You won a 4-pack of tickets for the Philadelphia Golf Show, January 31st through February 2nd at the Greater Philadelphia Expo Center in Oaks. For tickets and information, you can visit PhiladelphiaGolfShow.com.
All right, one last clip and one last story. Here we go.
Tuna. We should get tuna. Please, no more tuna, okay? It's got protein. We need protein. Beans are protein. Beans make you fart. We got a convertible.
All right, 215-263 WMMR. Let's see if you know what movie that's from. Last story, as the order is up, and this one is a soda story, and a beloved one from the 80s is making a comeback, and it's got a modern twist on it. So at the height of the soda wars, Pepsi's attempt to take on Sprite and 7-Up was Slice.
Yes.
A
Big fan.
lemon lime soda that featured a splash of real juice. I liked Slice as well.
That
I
was
thought
our
it was
go-to
pretty
for a
solid.
lemon lime soda in the house.
So in the History Channel series, The People That Fed America, they do a whole thing about the soda wars and about Slice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, what went away to make Starry?
It might have been Slice.
Okay.
I don't
so does
know.
that mean Starry's going away?
I don't remember Starry.
It's now.
At
Like
all?
Yeah,
Oh, now?
It's new.
Okay.
Dude, it's now.
It's now.
Nope, I'm wrong. Sierra Mist.
Sierra
Mist went away,
Yes.
and then that became Starry. And then there was a pretty heavy marketing campaign for Starry for a stretch. They were getting NBA stars and NFL players and whatever. But that's still out there, Case.
Sprite was my definite go-to. But when Slice came along, I'm like, I'll spend some
Nice
time with this.
competitor, yeah.
And it was really good.
Yeah.
They had orange Slice. They had a grape Slice. There were several flavors.
Ooh, I hate Slice.
Do you remember Squirt?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a great movie.
I kind of liked Squirt, believe it or not.
So all these for a while and they all kind of tasted similarly.
Similar.
Yeah.
Yep. And then I went on an orange kick for a while. So Sunkissed.
Oh, Orangina was my
And,
go-to.
Wait, so you went
Orangina?
orange?
Yeah.
Really?
But you didn't go orange Slice?
Sometimes,
All right.
yeah. I mean, these were all different eras, but Sunkist had cool commercials, so that's why.
What
I went with them.
is 7-Up even around anymore? I feel like is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think you see more Sprite than you see 7-Up, but 7-Up's still out.
I know
about.
Nick said this on the show yesterday, but Diet Sprite you don't see anywhere. It's just Sprite or nothing.
I think it's now marketed, Casey, as Sprite Zero, which is essentially the same thing as Diet Sprite.
So Pepsi pulled the plug on Slice about 15 years ago, but now Slice is being revived under a new company called Suja Life. Only now it's a functional drink designed to support gut health. Packed with prebiotics, probiotics, and postbiotics. The fizzy favorite will come in flavors like lemon, lime, grapefruit, orange, and strawberry, with more flavors on the way. Speaking of grapefruit, I thought it was disgusting, was Fresca back in the day.
Yeah.
I'd like to try it now and see if it's gotten any better, if my tastes have
For your
changed.
birthday.
And maybe I might be more accepting of Fresca.
No. Well, maybe, but I hate grapefruit. I know it's the citrus that bothers me the most.
Yeah.
So I
in a
tried.
Paloma.
Boy, did I try.
That's delicious.
And I could not work up a taste for grapefruit.
For grapefruit,
Yeah,
see,
yeah.
I love grapefruit.
I like it in Palomas for sure.
I mean, I like the actual fruit. Like, I
okay.
You will eat it?
Yes.
Sitting down and eating like half a grapefruit for
I will-
breakfast.
I will eat
I
grapefruit,
tried and
yeah.
tried and tried, and so I was like, "Oh, this is a really cool, healthy way to get started." And then I realized it's really good if I have it with 9 tablespoons of sugar.
Yeah, because it's so tart.
Yeah, you have to be careful with the acidity of it.
Yep. All right, let's see if somebody knows what movie this is from.
Tuna. We should get tuna. Please, no more tuna, okay? It's got protein. We need protein. Beans are protein. Beans make you fart. We got a convertible.
All right, let me go to Don. Hey, Don, good morning, bud.
Hey, morning, everybody. How you all doing?
Wonderful, bud. Thanks for asking. Let's see if you know what movie that's from.
That would be My Cousin Vinny with those 2 Utes.
Yes, those 2 Utes. You got it. Hang on a second. You won, buddy. Here's what we have.
All right, Don. And by the way, I need the clip from Hot to Trot because the horse's name is Don.
Okay.
And every time they say his name, people go, Don? 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 And I can't find that clip
all right, I'll
anywhere.
look for it.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so for you, Don, we have a we have a 4-pack of tickets for the Philadelphia Golf Show. This is going to be on January 31st through February 2nd at the Greater Philadelphia Expo Center in Oaks. And for tickets and information, you can visit PhiladelphiaGolfShow.com.
All right, and that's it for the Connoisseur.
Yay!
Today. I enjoyed that one. Some good stories out.
You know, just one quick end note here, Preston. I had forgotten this, but Sierra Mist had to rebrand because there was a porn star also named Sierra Mist.
No way.
Yeah, and she spelled her name with a C, and the soda was spelled with an S. But a listener texted that in, and that was why Sierra Mist as a brand of soda no longer exists.
That's great.
And that's why
We're
Casey.
going with sloppy queef.
Casey, that's why it's starry now.
Funny, man.
Sloppy Queef soda.
Sloppy Queef. That's good.
And when you open the can, it goes.
That's a good sloppy queef.
Do we have the porn sound effects? Is there any way you can marry those two together? Because that would sound. Hey, can you open up one of those?
Hey, toss me a sloppy queef.
Yeah. Hang on. Casey's got to get this set
Hang
up.
on. Maybe I forget how it's labeled.
What it's labeled as?
I think, oh, man.
Pouring.
We can do it.
Drink or. He's got. So he has these sound effects units, and sometimes to find one, you got to punch in a search code. All right. So here we go.
All right, so here we go.
All right. There it is. Sloppy Queef.
Yeah.
All right. We do need to take a break. When we come back, Bizarre File Stories and our official Friday song from the band Froggy. And then we'll tell you about our guests. We'll be right back. Stay put.
Preston and Steve.
Call back another time. Wow, that was bizarre.
Your mother is in here with us.
And it's Linda Blair's birthday.
Yeah, it's
we were just
perfect,
talking
yeah.
about that earlier. Wow. All right, let me see. We're going to have to wrap up here in just a second, right, Case? 'Cause we gotta get to No Sad Bro coming up. No Sad Dough, No Sad Bro. Hang on a second here. I'll go to Sean real quick. Sean, good morning.
It's shower time.
It's shower time, bitch.
All I did was get out of the shower.
William Shatner and his ex-wife Elizabeth are dividing up everything in their estate, from dogs to land to ashes of exes to horse semen.
Wow.
TMZ reports.
Okay, yeah, because he
loves it.
He's a breeder.
Yeah.
He loves
He puts it in his cereal.
Love horse semen.
I tell you, I love it in my cereal. It's so thick and creamy.
Wow.
There's just something about waking up to horse jizz.
Oh my God.
Elizabeth.
Spock, what's this in your coffee cup?
Elizabeth gets 2 horses. William gets all the dogs, 2 horses, and all of the horse semen. He gets
who gets the Geo?
He gets all of the horse semen and equipment, the horse semen equipment.
He gets all the dogs?
He gets all the dogs, yeah.
Seems unfair.
Semen?
It's horse semen in my big, piping hot mug of coffee.
And these are per the papers obtained by TMZ. Elizabeth gets...
Yes, I'd like a bear claw and a coffee with horse semen. You don't have horse semen? You don't know how delicious it is in a cup of coffee?
So Elizabeth, gets a Malibu and a Versailles, Kentucky home. By the way, in Kentucky, it's pronounced Versailles, not Versailles. Plus her family farm in Indiana, while he gets a ranch and their Studio City home.
But I got the semen, correct?
He gets all the semen. Their agreement also spelled out animal visitation rights because they don't have children. So
Preston, you know what I love to do? I love to drink horse semen through a crazy straw.
Crazy straw.
Through a crazy straw. It looks wild.
Yeah, I can imagine. Wow. All right, we're going to leave with this. Johnny Depp has launched a $50 million defamation suit against his ex-wife Amber Heard. He claims she lied about him abusing her and furthermore claims that she cheated on him within 1 month of their marriage in 2015 with Tesla founder Elon Musk. He claims that Heard...
I have proof.
He claimed that Heard received late-night visits from Musk.
Where did you get that segue?
At the at the L.A.
Bitch, where'd you get this segue?
He got.
What's with all the rockets?
She had late-night visits from Musk at their L.A. home.
I'm a cowboy.
That Depp and Heard shared while he was traveling. Are you a cowboy or a pirate? Make up your mind.
Pie boy.
A pie boy. Okay.
A pirate.
The 55-year-old suit against his 32-year-old ex reportedly stems from an op-ed that she wrote for the Washington Post in December, in which she said, "I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change." His career, he claims, has been damaged by the allegations and led to him being dropped from his lucrative role in the Pirates of the Caribbean films.
I think actually if he had just let this go, he'd draw less attention to it. By engaging in this, he's drawing more attention to it. Kind of let it just go inert. Who would have read that op-ed piece?
Yeah, but you know what? But the thing is, if he truly is innocent of all of these things,
thank you.
It doesn't matter if he lets it go because 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the road, that's going to be his legacy, and I guess he doesn't want to stand for that. If indeed he is,
can I tell you something?
Yeah,
I love you, roast beef.
Thanks. Thank you, Preston.
The claim adds Ms. Heard is not a victim of domestic abuse. She is a perpetrator.
She is a perpetrator.
Yeah, Depp report. What?
I don't know. I was just waiting for a Yosemite Sam moment.
I don't know what that was, but it was, because of the classic Johnny Depp Yosemite Sam.
Yeah, well, it was a cowboy thing.
Oh, okay, I got you.
I mean, really, any moment is a good Yosemite Sam.
He's been a pirate, too.
Yes,
he has been a pirate, bro.
I don't think that you can go wrong with Yosemite Sam.
It's just perfect.
Let me know if there's anything else you're waiting for, and I'll set you up, okay?
All right, good.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Mr. Depp's actions prove that he is unable to accept the truth of his ongoing abusive behavior. This is according to, the other side.
Yes.
But
we've seen what appears to be damning video of him going on a tirade.
And, in the tirade, he's just slamming things down.
Where are the Cocoa Puffs?
And he's not actually being physical with her.
Doggy.
Little doggy.
He looks so. It's just him waking up, and he's in a bad mood.
His mother. He's
wearing
died,
a cowboy hat. Did his mom just die?
I don't. Yeah, I think so. It might have been shortly after that. But yeah, he's wearing the cowboy hat and sunglasses, and he's just.
Yeah.
Where are my spurs?
Yeah.
He's got his cap gun 6-shooter.
Where are my spurs? spurs. I don't want to look like some cowpoke.
She's always leaving them laying around somewhere. You can't find them. They're supposed to be.
God damn it, I just stepped on my spurs.
Here they are.
They're supposed to be
Give
in
me
the
my spurs.
supposed to be in the laundry room.
Look at that.
Yeah.
They're walking over on their own.
I guess so.
I got the new ones from Nike. They're autonomous.
Boy, ladies and gentlemen, what a treat. Filling in for Pierre Robert. Your midday excursion today will be hosted by the man about town, Bill Weston.
God, talk about setting the bar really low.
When's the last time you've done a music shift?
I did a 6 to 10 Saturday morning show like 5 or 6 months ago.
Okay.
I came in and got off before you guys were up.
By the way, I remember there was one. You get good feedback. You know, people enjoy hearing you on the air, and obviously you're no neophyte to this. So,
I follow the program director's credo called Tight and Bright.
Tight and bright.
How long were you a jock?
Oh, gosh. Maybe 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it most of that in Buffalo?
Most of that was Love Lines, Nick.
I did top 40 in Erie, the worst 2 years of my life. I did a couple years on a rock station in Buffalo, best years of my life. And then started getting into programming because I realized I was an okay jock, but I was probably a better programmer.
Okay. Yeah, you're a great programmer. I have a question about, so, we have this thing, it's called the Zeta system, which is the software system that has all the music and commercials and all this stuff. You know how to run it pretty well?
Yeah, pretty much. There's the amount of dead air that Pierre manages to eke out of that system?
Because truth be told, I couldn't run this. There's no way. I could. Casey does all the. I just hit the buttons to put everything in motion. If I had to do this on my own, I wouldn't be able to do it.
Well, yeah, Pancake will
I don't do it enough. But Pancake, you got a great producer.
Yeah, and you know what?
Following you up there.
Chuck schedules a lot of stuff, and Todd in promotions. And if you don't change it, if you kind of run it the way it's supposed to run, you don't have to do a whole lot. Just stop it and start it, right? So
now, are you going to do your usual War of the Roses and Hot Girl Check-In?
Hot girl check-in.
I'm going to be celebrating National French Bread Day. What is it, like Baguette Day today?
We got these 19-foot loaves of French bread out in the green room, plus chocolate chip cookies the size of manhole covers.
You know what? It's also National Ravioli Day. So you can celebrate
so we're going to be a big block of songs about ravioli, right, at 12 noon. And Bill,
Hi, we're Warren, and we love ravioli.
a 10-minute version of Bill's Bulletin.
Oh,
Instead of Pierre's Planner.
Bill's Bulletin.
No, we're not going. We're not doing that.
Bill's Bulletin. I like that.
Oh, boy.
We're going to play a lot of music.
And then the
Bill's
fun report.
There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Weston with the Bill's Bulletin.
Good evening, Mr. America. Mr.
And all the ships at sea.
Ships at sea.
This one goes out to Lottie in Kansas, who's having her hip replacement surgery today. Lottie, we're pulling for ya.
Do you want me to run sound effects for you?
No, it's good. I will, in honor of Chester Bennington's birthday today, we'll get some Linkin Park on. We're going to do some blocks for The Clash, one of my favorite bands ever. Since we missed out on World Clash Day a couple weeks ago, we're going to make up for it today in a big block of Clash.
Did you ever see The Clash perform live?
I did not.
That is one of my greatest concert experiences.
I did see them. Oh, God. I just realized I did see The Clash.
Really? You just blocked it out of your favorite band, and you blocked it out of your mind?
It was at a stadium. They were at a part of a stadium tour with The Who.
That's when I saw it.
It was David Johansen, and then The Clash, and then The Who.
Yeah.
So
That was very Rocky V. It was like,
I love this. I was looking on our next guest Twitter account, and he's got a tweet from Ryan Reynolds.
Yes.
It says, excited to see the Snyder Cut, but ahead of its debut, and with the aid of a good amount of aviation gin, tonight at 6 p.m., I'll do something I've never done. Actually watch The Green Lantern. Happy St. Patrick's Day. That was sent to Zack Snyder. Ladies and gentlemen, we're very fortunate to have this gentleman on. He was gracious enough to give us this wonderful interview at the Camp Out for Hunger. It was fantastic.
So cool.
And we're stoked on the day that this big event that we've long awaited, that he is joining us this morning. Is very, very cool.
I mean, the stuff that so many people thought would never happen, and here it is.
Please welcome Zack Snyder to the show this morning. Zach.
Hey, guys.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Doing great. Doing really great this morning.
It is an exciting day for a lot of people, including most of all you. And the first question I want to get into, Zach, is just to remind everybody, how did this come to be? Where did this idea start that this movie needed to go back and be redone and added all this extra footage? I think it was fan-based, was it not?
100% fan-based. I don't know. It's a long saga of what happened during the film. People might not know that the original Justice League that was released in theaters, that I've never seen the movie. I left the project due to a family tragedy that we had, and so I never completed the film. They brought in another guy to finish it, and they made a couple of changes in my absence, and so I guess there was a hashtag that circulated called "Release the Snyder Cut." And that hashtag started on November 17th, 2017, which is the day the movie was originally released.
Wow.
There was a guy who walked out of the theater and just went like, nope, and tweeted that. And since, it's been tweeted millions of times, the studio finally was like, okay, well, I guess we have to do this.
It's miraculous. Yeah. It is a miraculous thing when you stop and think about it. So the actual release itself, Zach, the actual movie, that it's in existence the way you originally envisioned it, but now the story of it has become Hollywood legend as well, how this actually was executed. So something that I'm sure would have to frustrate any artist and any guy, and I consider you a visionary. Preston and I, we all love your work. I mean, we're massive fans. And to think, okay, I guess I have to cast that one into the dustbin of, that's it. And then to be able to go back, and then you're getting things like IGN saying Zack Snyder's Justice League is a vindication for the director and the fans that believed in his vision. That's got to be awesome on this day to hear stuff like that.
Yeah, it's really cool. And just the fans have been so amazing. Our big cause is suicide prevention and mental health awareness. And, the fans have raised now $600,000 just, in the little fan community. Because every time they did an activation, like if they bought a billboard, half the money would go to AFSP and the other half of the money would be like a billboard, or like whatever they do, half of the money goes to, AFSP and, for suicide prevention and mental health awareness. And it's just an incredible, I've said 100 times, like, well, if there was no movie, what the fans have done is incredible, especially during this pandemic where, there's a lot of people suffering, through some hard times. On top of the, this virus, there's also just the impact.
WMMR.
Real quick before we do our Friday song and the B-file and all that stuff, and I'm looking at the clock. I have a feeling if I do some shout outs real quick, then we do the song in the bizarre file, we might slide into 8:15 and our Preston and Steve Ticket Blitz keyword.
I'm thinking you're right.
So I'm going to try to make that happen this way.
I'm pulling out the farts.
So we'll start with this. Now, this is a butt plug. And Nick, I hope you got the proper information. This is from Beth Lebrecht, and I didn't quite follow this all the way.
She texted me. She lives in Central PA. Beth is a really nice person, and so this is affecting their community in Central PA.
Yeah, so she says, hi, roast beefs. And I'm sending my daughter to the Worldwide of Sports tomorrow for a field hockey national tournament. This is from a couple of days ago. She said, however, 5 girls going down there got in a terrible accident, and everyone is sad, and we don't know anything else yet other than help is needed for medical bills if possible. And then there was like a scam that happened or something like that, but she had been emailing both Nick and I. So did you post info on it?
I
or
did
are you
not
waiting
because
on
it was a little complicated. I'm going to text her now. Beth's a friend. She's a huge Dave Matthews fan, and I'll try to get to the bottom of it. I'll share it on Instagram later today, and I'll tag Beth on it. So follow me on Instagram, and we can have the information there.
Okay, so she wanted a shout out.
Yeah.
So for the field hockey team, let's do that. All right. Then I have this one says, "Hey, my name is Mikey Cirio. And I was hoping to give a shout out on Friday's show to my best friend, Andrew, and his family. Andrew and I have been best friends since kindergarten. Now we both are in late 30s. Unfortunately, their mom passed away earlier this week, which has been really tough for them. And on top of that, Andrew was recently promoted to fire marshal in the Conshohocken area. And the added responsibilities have been pretty stressful. And I just wanted to give them a shout out and let them know they're loved and not alone during this tough and unsettling time. Thanks to you guys at Rock. And that is from Mikey.
That was from the heart.
Yep. This one says, Gadzooks Presbo. If possible, I'd like to send a big, juicy birthday shout out to my wife, Becky, Friday morning, as she is graced by sharing a birthday with you on Saturday the 25th. She's usually driving around to work at 7:45 and has a half-hour commute. Sorry. Well, she might get this.
Could be.
She'll be blowing out 47 candles on her cake this year. As always, you guys rock. That is from Eddie in Palmyra. So, shout out for you. This one is from Paul Huffman. And he says, hey, I'm having right knee replacement surgery on the 5th of February. So I'd love to get a shout out for me and my super tolerant, loving wife, Kathy. I would appreciate a high grandma chart. Now, he's getting a little specific here.
Yeah.
With Casey Boy's full spiel leading up to the high grandma and a big juicy chart. I don't know.
Yeah, come on.
I would also...
Come on, Paul.
I would also appreciate if you could include a shout out to Paul Eisenberg of Bringing Hope Home.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
He's amazing.
He's good.
He's a great guy. He was high school quarterback until back-to-back injuries took me out of the game. Or I was his high school quarterback, they said. He was and still is a good friend. Distance prevents a tighter bond these days. My left knee has a total of 7 surgeries.
Oh, my God. How big is his knee?
And have great respect for utmost confidence in Dr. Sheth and his team. If you ever need surgery, Preston, he is the man. And Penn's operating room is a technological wonder.
That's for sure.
I always have a great referral for a shoulder surgeon, should you ever need it, too. So here's a shout out for you.
Do you want to do your grandma thing, Case? Or do we have
I'm in no mood for this.
Oh, he says no. Okay, so just the regular chart.
All right.
We don't always have time to pull all those things up. 2 more, and then we will get to the Friday song. This says, hey, Preston, it's from Eva Pizzamenti, who says, my daughter is a fan of yours for years. She named her son Preston after you. What? Last year, I couldn't believe when I was listening, and the two of you have the same birthday, January 25th. He will be 12 years old this year. He listens with his mom on the way to school. Would it be possible, to call him and wish him a happy birthday? My daughter's name is Vinny.
No, I don't think I will.
The daughter's name is Vinny?
Yeah, that's what it says here. My daughter's name is Vinny. This would be a great surprise for an amazing grandson, possibly on Friday or Monday. Thank you so much. An early happy birthday. That is from Eva, nanny to my grandchildren. So here's a shout out. And then one last one. It says, good morning. I was wondering if I could wish my husband, Jim Henry, the Jimmies, a happy birthday.
Okay.
A happy birthday on January 26th. Thank you for keeping us all laughing.
2 first names.
And that is from Patty Henry.
Okay. I know the Jimmies. They're great guys. And little Jimmy's not so little anymore.
Oh, I know the
Is little
Jimmies.
Jimmy bigger than Big Jimmy?
They come out to everything we do. Big Jimmy is a larger guy, beard.
Oh, I know these guys. Yeah, they were at the
baseball
camp out.
hat.
Yeah,
they come out to everything. The Jimmies. All right, well, happy birthday, Jimmy. All right, let's now make it Friday official. Why?
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Had the fader turned down. All right. Brought to you by Special Olympics Pennsylvania, inviting you to get Freezing for a Reason 2025 Polar Plunge, February 1st, Citizens Bank Park. And for more information or to register, visit phillyplunge.org. That's phillyplunge.org. Well, what started as a routine traffic stop in Florida ended with a shocking twist. A police officer accidentally shot the driver in the leg with that driver's own gun.
Oh, jeez.
Let me see that.
The situation seemed straightforward when Jason Arrington was pulled over for running a red light in Jacksonville.
Go!
Body cam, is that him reacting, getting shot in the leg? Yeah. Body cam footage shows him calmly informing Officer Sean Lowry that he was carrying a firearm as permitted under Florida law. Lowry thanked him for his honesty and asked him to step out of the vehicle, prioritizing safety for both parties. But things spiral quickly as officers Austin Wiper and Mindy Cardwell worked to secure the firearm from Arrington's holster, and that's when disaster struck. Struggling to remove the gun, Officer Cardwell accidentally placed her finger inside the trigger guard, and then it discharged and got him in the leg.
All right, get out of the car. We're going to shoot you in the leg.
Arrington survived, but says that the injury has deeply affected his ability to work. So I don't know how they're going to make that up for him. Out of England, mystery surrounds a 200-year-old bottle of urine that was found on a building site. It was discovered by workers who were digging trenches at a property.
Kiss boy.
The bottle was analyzed by University of Lincoln student Zara Yates, who used a scanner usually used at crime scenes. And Ms. Yates said the builders initially thought that it was a bottle of rum, and they were planning to drink it.
My God. We should do this topic sometime on the show, because contractors and people I've been talking to recently, when they're doing demos of parts of houses or houses in general, they'll find things that the workers or other people put in the walls, or like even in stuff around the house, because they figure nobody's going to find out about this for years. And they find some crazy stuff.
Sure, absolutely. We have some stuff in the walls here when they were building our studio. They asked if we wanted to put some things in the walls. So she said, thankfully, the project manager was on site and recognized the significance of the object. But
this is historical piss.
But we have discovered that it actually is urine, not alcohol. So Ms. Yates told the BBC she used a combination of techniques to decipher the bottle's age and contents. So the shape of the bottle was introduced in 1790, and its unevenness suggests it was hand blown, adding that as molds to make bottles were only introduced in 1840. It must have been made before that date.
Let me take a swig of that.
A multi-spectral imager, which throws different wavelengths of light on the object, revealed the contents were bodily fluids, the main one being urine. The university has suggested it is a so-called witch's bottle buried to keep evil away from the house. Another theory is that it was placed there by a sailor to ensure a safe journey. So they all think there's superstitions.
Some sort of superstitions attached to that.
Yep. Mm-hmm. All right, a bull moose that fell through lake ice in the Adirondack Mountains was saved by New York conservation officials in a laborious cold water rescue.
Why don't you forget the moose for a moment?
Well, he's going to die.
They didn't. The moose fell through the ice at around 11 a.m. Thursday, about 200 feet from the shore. There's no training manual for getting the moose out of the ice, according to Officer Robert Higgins. Higgins was dispatched to the lake thanks to a passerby who saw the moose break through the ice and called him in. So he was quickly joined by forest rangers. In New York, moose are sometimes poached by humans, and a handful die every year due to being hit by cars. For this moose, the humans came to help, and they can die from hypothermia.
Yeah.
They can't easily get out of water like that. So first they put on dry suits. If they fell in, they'd be safe, and they used a long metal spud bar. That's what it's called, a spud bar, to test the thickness of the ice, which varied from about 1 to 4 inches. They brought safety ropes so that no one fell in. Others could pull them out if they did. They navigated a path across the lake following the thickest path to the moose without breaking through, and they knelt on sleds to distribute their weight.
Listen, guys, I really appreciate this.
They used a chainsaw to cut away sections of the ice, connecting the area where the moose broke through a thicker section of ice, while Higgins pushed the ice blocks underneath the channel to get them out of the way. And the hope was for the bull to swim down the channel and climb out, but they can weigh about 1,000 pounds, so there wasn't much of a chance of them being able to pull him out safely. The moose did not swim toward the thick ice, so they tried to herd it down the channel they had cut. It wasn't intimidated, but officials by officials or their big metal sticks. It was intimidated by their sleds. For whatever reason, he said they were scared of those. So once we got behind it, we were able to direct it. And the giant moose quickly crawled onto the ice. But he laid there for a while because he was freezing cold.
Yes, yeah.
And it took about 15 minutes, eventually found his footing, got up, and then walked off into the woods.
That's amazing.
The moose made it, but it was a laborious effort to get him out of there.
They're very improbable creatures because if you look at their legs, they seem too small to hold that huge thing.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. That's all the time we have for In the B File, but you're in luck that you stuck around this long because since it's a quarter after, we got to do the Preston and Steve Ticket Blitz keyword. And this is your chance to win tickets to the game this weekend. So the word I have for you now is down, D-O-W-N. You have to enter that at PrestonandSteve.com. Don't text it to us. We're not doing it that way. Enter the word down at PrestonandSteve.com, and that will be another opportunity for you to possibly win the tickets that we have to give away at the end of the program. So do it now. The word is down. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Sam Morril will be joining us, so stay put. We won't be gone long.
Preston and Steve.
As people, and I think that they've really been just amazing and tip of the spear in that way, and I'm just proud of the community.
Well, you participated in our Camp Out for Hunger, and just to put into perspective what happened, that ended up when we thought we were fighting, the Battle of Sisyphus there, pushing the boulder up the hill. It ended up being by leaps and bounds, our most productive camp out ever. And again, thanks in part to you and the other people who did it. So the generosity is not gone, and for anyone who's going to enjoy. And has been excited for this event. That we'll put the link up. I'm sure Nick probably already has to direct money for people who want to make donations to this charity, which has touched your life and is sadly touching so many lives right now. And then turn a negative into a positive. But I have to ask you. So there is so much that initially I was unaware after having seen the movie in the theater and having loved the way you had progressed this story. With Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. To me, it seemed very Wagnerian and very operatic, and I love it. I love that whole thing. And while Justice League definitely has its moments, the tone was different. And so now that I realize there were huge chunks that were excised, Preston and I loved the character of Cyborg, and you could just feel he had been shorted so much screen time. That has been corrected, correct?
Cyborg is really it's his movie in a lot of ways. I think when you see it, you're going to be very much, you're basically seeing Cyborg's story in a lot of ways. It's his origin, and that was always when Chris Terrio and I were working on the story. Our intent was always to have Cyborg. It was his time. We thought this movie was going to be all about Cyborg, and frankly, Justice League really takes that character, all the way.
I love it.
I can't wait for you to see it. But I was suggesting that you guys leave the studio right now.
Oh, Zach was actually giving us a pass and suggested, and I suggested we ran the show from like the time of Live Aid, and it would probably it wouldn't work out. But so we're going to tell our bosses you've given us the pass right now, actually on social media, and there are people responding who are just loving it. And you've always dealt with people who just summarily just don't buy into what you're doing. I've from the get-go, as have legions, bought into it. And you like long movies. We talked about this last time at the Camp Out for Hunger. And if you're telling a story, it's like I was looking at the runtime initially when the first iteration of Justice League was released. Like, how are you? What is this? What was this filmed in a photo booth? I mean, how are you getting these huge stories compacted?
The movie, I think the runtime of the movie it's 2 hours with credits. So it's, I think, an hour and, 40, or 50 minutes.
Yeah.
Total. I mean, I think that's not even half of the movie that I've just finished. So if you're ready for a deep dive into into some Justice League characters, if you're ready to really go all the way, that this is what it's all about.
Zach, mentioning a long film, and for those who maybe have a hard time consuming something that's 4 hours long, I did read this morning that it is kind of broken up into 30-minute chapters. Is that the case?
Yeah, when I originally finished this cut of the movie, I finished in January of 2017. So I've been working on it even in 2016. So and I had this idea then that I should divide the movie into chapters. And so it's really easy to, I think as a stream, when you're streaming it, and this is a great HBO Max thing that's happening, in that when you sit on your sofa, if you sort of think about it psychologically, like you're about to binge basically 7 half-hour episodes of a giant, some are 40 minutes and whatever, but I think you really, in that sense, it's really easy to watch, and you can always pause it at the chapters and go get your chips or go to the bathroom, or you can come back the next day. But it's really, I think in that way, it's the right sort of platform for it. We did finish an IMAX version of the movie as well, which hopefully when the theaters kind of open up more, we can put up in IMAX for you guys, because we want to do that for charity, in the fall.
Oh, we'll be there. We'll promote it. Yeah, we'll absolutely do that. And just to let people know, and it's my understanding that they might be thrown off as you watch it, as everyone will watch it today, and then donate to Zach's charity as well. That the aspect ratio that you'll see at home is a little bit different, correct?
Yeah, it's like the opposite of letterbox. So everyone took a while to get used to letterbox format, which is when you have black bars on the top and bottom, the kind of widescreen look. This is the opposite. It's in Academy, or it's in full app. So it is shot in the sort of IMAX format, which is like a big square. So you'll have some bars on the sides of the screen. So don't worry about that. That's part of it.
I was seeing side-by-side comparisons, and I love from you see more stuff going on. You need to see the bat signal. Yeah. Obviously, I have my Batman here with me. But I mean, the fact that all of that is going on, and just the color changes that you've done. Steppenwolf got a badass makeover, and I mean, with what you did, and HBO Max gave you some money, but what you've been able to do, and I've just seen stills, so I'm very excited. But everything looks fantastic.
Cheers! Yeah, you're going to get to see Darkseid. I don't know if you know anything about DC. I do. Darkseid he's the King Daddy bad guy of the DC universe, and he's not messing around. He doesn't play nice. He's just here
to mess everything up. Yeah, and
mess every single thing up. All right, let's hope that Justice League gets it together.
Don't give it away.
So with that,
I'm saying I hope.
Okay. Are there other actors who were initially on the cutting room floor that are now getting their treatment in this film?
Listen, I don't know 100% because, as I said, I haven't seen the theatrical cut. I might have to do that analysis. But I do know that Ryan Choi, the character of Ryan Choi, who would eventually become the Atom, his character was cut. And Kiersey Clemons, who plays Iris, she was cut. So anyway,
she's in a sequence.
Mom.
She's in a sequence with the Flashes. Gets a lot more time on the screen. Ezra Miller. We know there's a new Flash movie that is in the works. We get to see a bit of what the Speed Force concept looks like, which is very cool. Sure. Cyborg's dad, Silas Joe Morton, we see a little bit more of him. And what I love is that Steppenwolf
has a really amazing arc. Yeah, sorry.
No problem. Steppenwolf, in that version, it was like, what? Why are you so pissed off? What is this about? With Darkseid in the mix, you I guess from what I understand and what I've read, is that Steppenwolf comes off more as he's just trying to please his boss, and is that correct?
It's a family issue. Yeah, he has a lot of. I mean, Kieran Hines, who voices him, is amazing, and I think brings this amazing gravitas, and I would say, frankly, he brings a lot of sympathy to the character. I mean, I know it's hard to believe that you might feel sympathetic toward this big spiky monster from space who's into world domination and has a giant axe and it's just basically chopping everybody in half. But he's got his own problems.
But that's what you need. To me, I've always hated a villain. And I've said this countless times on the show. A mustache-twirling, one-dimensional villain does nothing for me. A villain that you can slightly understand the impetus for is far more interesting.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. 100%.
So I wanted to ask and double back to Ray Fisher because I was reading something about him. For those who don't know, he's the one who plays Cyborg. Actually, he's from the area.
Yeah, he is.
We spoke to him years ago. He apparently has had a great reaction to the Snyder Cut. I read this morning that he absolutely loved it. Now, he had his issues with the replacement and its controversies, and we won't get into that here. But how does that feel to you to know that he's happy with what he's seen?
Well, Ray's a buddy, and I just when I hired him and when we started this process, it was really, to me, it was all about.
He wrote and recorded with the band Jealousy Curve several years ago.
Yeah, and actually, Jealousy Curve's making new music. They just had a show at Ardmore Music Hall back in December, and I believe, they're great. And they got a show coming up at the Rusty Nail in March. I believe March 29th. But I reached out to Steve LaFascia, Mike O'Brien, and Mike Levy, and they created this song.
I'm sorry. Nick and I are both laughing at the same thing that's in text. It says, "Is this Delco back?"
Yes!
Delco back.
Delco back is good.
Man.
That's a super group.
That's the best band name I've heard in a long time.
Yeah. Delco back.
Oh, my God.
That's phenomenal. Thank you, Mystery Texter.
Delco
you have
back.
made our day. I'm sorry to interrupt. Did you want to finish that?
No, that's all. Just these guys are great, and they are making new music again. So.
You guys got to go out as Delco back. Do a whole set. I love it. All right, we got to get a look at traffic. Let's go for that, Kath. What's going on this morning?
We've got delays on the Schuylkill Expressway, eastbound 202 into Belmont, heavy Montgomery to University, westbound Bear Avenue to South Street, City to Gladwin, and then at the Conshohocken curve. 95 southbound heavy from Cottman into the Vine westbound jam the length, north 95 at Cottman Avenue, an accident off to the shoulder. Another accident on the Pennsylvania Turnpike eastbound, just east of Downingtown, that's off to the shoulder as well. And then in New Jersey, 295 southbound, the off-ramp to Route 30 closed because of a vehicle fire. This traffic report brought to you by Whole Foods Market. Get quality entrees at Whole Foods Market. Save 20% on no antibiotics ever. Air-chilled, boneless, skinless chicken breast with Prime through January 28th while supplies last. Shop in-store or online. Terms apply. And that's your traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
All right, thanks, Kath. We're going to get Sam Morril on in just a little bit, but Casey, you wanted to mention something ahead of time?
I did. So, I've lived a very, very nice life and have met some really, really great people along the way, and a few people that I consider to be best friends. And Preston, you're one of them. And your birthday's tomorrow.
Yes.
And, we wanted to do something special for you today. So...
you're going to rank your best friends?
I'm not going to do that.
Where does?
But I could. I mean, but like you rank them in different ways, right? So
Sure.
like my best friend is my friend Mike.
Jeff.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, and that's only because Mike has been my next door neighbor, and he's been my longest friend, right? And then you have somebody like Jeff, and then you have Preston, and then you have you, and then you have Chuck.
Chuck's got to be in there.
Yeah, you guys are all in there. Nick, Kathy, Marissa. We spend entirely too much time together. But Press, you're one of my best friends. You've always had my back, and so I wanted, your
Delco back.
Yeah, my Delco back. I really wanted to make you an apple pie for your birthday today, but you're on a diet.
Yes,
and so I did not do that. But Marissa, do we want to bring in our guest for Preston, because we are kind of killing a little bit of time for Sam Morril. But we have a woman named Eve, and I want you to read that the highlighted part because Eve is this is her business.
She is from Apple and Eve Aesthetics in Percy.
Yes.
Am I reading all this?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
All right. It offers a range. Oh, I know what you do.
You know what it is.
I know what you do. I saw her tray of stuff she brought in. They offer a range of relaxing and results-driven services from facials and waxing to lash extensions. But here's the deal. Here's what they do, and I saw them on the news. They do tactile ASMR sessions. And you guys know that
That's your thing.
I'm an ASMR person. I have this, and I love it. And I've told you before, I wish everybody had it. It's so great.
So Casey and Marissa, I don't know. I just learned about it this morning. So Marissa, and so when they said ASMR, I said, Well, he doesn't like the people talking thing. He likes like I have a totally other vision, and then he said, no, this is what it is. Like, oh, he's going to love that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So it says here, tactile ASMR sessions consist of different forms of tactile stimuli, different patterns of pressure done on the surface of the skin, including feather-light touch of soft finger strokes on the skin surface. So I had heard about this. I told you guys, I got to do that. I have to do that one day.
It looks like it's going to happen.
Oh, my God. How are you doing, Eve? Not yet. You can talk on that mic right there. Yeah. Hi.
I'm great. How are you?
Wonderful. Nice to see you.
So nice to meet you.
You as well. How long have you been, have you had this service available?
So I've been open for 2.5 years, but I just started offering the service about a little over a year ago.
Okay. Yeah. And is it a hit?
A huge hit.
It has, it sits. I think it sits in that area where even if you're not the ASMR thing, people like to have gentle stroking or gentle. Yeah. Some people don't, but I think the vast majority do. It's very relaxing, but it's not the kind of thing that people think of to ask for. Like you're either going to get a massage or you're going to get something that's a little bit more pressure, and so this seems something that is just not something you ask for. You know what I'm saying? It might seem weird to people, but I think just about everyone would love this.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I think that's really what it comes down to is that people feel weird asking a massage therapist for it.
Right.
Or because it's really something you get from like your mom or your grandma.
Yeah,
that's exactly right.
Like running your fingernails down their back or something like that, very lightly.
So what exactly is the service? What if somebody comes in to get this service, what are they getting?
So basically when someone comes in, it's half the session spent face down and we tickle the back and the back of the leg.
Come on.
I use mostly my hands, but I'll also incorporate some brushes and things like that, feathers. And then I'll have them flip, and we'll do the same thing on the front. Again, using mostly my hands. I'll see if, like you, for example, if you like more finger pads or more nails.
Okay.
So it's very preference-based. Like people.
This is something like my wife and I, like, and you'll stroke each other's arms or whatever. And everyone, everyone loves it. And don't stop. You always hear that.
Unless you're my husband.
Right.
He hates
tickles.
Right. Yeah, I like for myself, like there's an erogenous zone kind of right in where your elbow on the inside, right in there. Yeah, she's touching it,
and
here this may make you stop touching. When I sit down to poop, I always do this to myself.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
I sit down.
She just left.
It relaxes me.
Oh yes, I do that.
So we like the tactile ASMR.
Very much so. And I promise I will not poop in the middle of it. I won't at all. It's a conditioned experience.
Is this your husband in studio with us?
Yes.
There we go. And you don't like to be tickled?
Yeah.
You don't like to be touched the way that she's good at touching?
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Man.
Wow. That's okay. All right. So we'll get this underway in a little bit. Yeah. We have our guest standing by, so I need to talk to them.
Yeah, we have our guest on then, so we can recontinue.
Reconvene.
You're in Percy, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So it's called Apple and Eve Aesthetics.
So we're going to do this with Preston. Preston, this is a dream come true, is it not?
Yeah, totally. I'm all over this. Thank you, Eve. We'll get to you in a moment or two. Wow. I have other questions. I'll get to those.
So why don't you guys, Eve, come on over here and just relax, and we'll have our guest, and then Preston, you can get all tickled up like a mofo.
Absolutely. So he is on to talk about the Errors Tour, and he is going to be at the Miller Theater. February 6th is when the show. There are tickets on sale now. EnsembleArtsPhilly.com, and we always love having him on. He's joining us via Zoom. This is Sam Morril, who's on the program. Morning, Sam.
Yo, oh my God, ASM. I'm uncomfortable over the phone with that.
So you are not then someone who responds to ASMR kind of therapy, correct?
I couldn't even say it. Yeah, no, I think the point of a massage is to not be uncomfortable. So no, it sounds like not my speed.
It wouldn't work for you. Yeah. So are you? What about a general massage, like a Swedish deep tissue massage? Will that work for you?
Yeah, I want a fat old Romanian woman with heavy elbows. I don't want one woman with feathers. I don't,
Yeah, I don't know. I think I could both work for me. There are times when
Sam, are you a treat yourself kind of guy, like with massages and little, to go and kind of be pampered for a bit?
No, I used to see a woman for acupuncture in New York, and it was honestly, you're miserable while you're doing it, but afterwards you're like, oh my God, I feel like amazing.
So you really got something out of that. I tried acupuncture once, and it just didn't work for me.
Yeah, I guess it depends, but yeah, I've done massages before, but I haven't had time lately, man. Because then if you're on the road and you're not writing, you're just kind of like, I don't.
Well, and then
feels like a waste.
You get nervous and anxious about when you're going to schedule your relaxing massage and where you're going to fit it in, and that seems counterproductive. I think anything like even acupuncture or any of that stuff, even if it's psychosomatic, it's still working. It's still getting the desired result.
Oh, it works for you, yeah.
I have to ask you, Sam. What are the odds you think people mistakenly purchased tickets to the Eras tour thinking?
Well, last time I was in Philly, I played the Miller Theater, and my niece was like, oh my God, I'm coming. And I was like, oh, cool. She's like, 11. Yeah. And she's coming to see Taylor Swift. She wasn't coming to see me. So that's kind of where it came from. In Philly, I was like, I should just lie and make it sound like Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Not so I can get 11-year-olds. That sounded creepy. I just meant like more people out.
I need more 11-year-olds.
I need more children at my show.
No, that's great. I love that. Yeah, well, you might as well. You attach to what is, I think at this point, monetarily, the most successful global tour of all time. So if you're going to mimic a name, that's the one to go for.
Oh my God, yeah, she's crushing it, man. She's by the way, your Eagles are maybe it might be Eagles.
Yeah.
And oh my God, can you imagine all the Eagles fans just trashing Taylor Swift? I mean, it's gonna get ugly. It's gonna get bad if it's you guys in the Super Bowl.
Well, I have to ask you because you're a big sports guy. And you are, all facets. Where do you sit on the Kelsey brothers and their level of fascination and how they seem to be a phenomenon on their own?
I mean, I don't listen to the podcast, but I think they're incredible. They're both incredible players. How do you? I think whenever you pop that big, people just find ways to hate on you. But
right. Well,
I always like both of them. I mean. For me as a Giants fan, it's very rare to like an Eagle.
Yeah.
But Jason Kelsey is that likable. And I love that guy walked up to him talking trash and he just grabbed his phone and smacked. I was like, yeah, that's what happens when you're not on Twitter, asshole. Do that to an adult, to his face, a pro athlete. That's what should happen.
Yeah. It's funny because I mean that happened, and then you were like, okay, I just hope this doesn't blow back on Jason because he was not the perpetrator. You know what I mean? He just did what everybody else
any brother would do.
Yeah.
Any brother would do for somebody's trash talking your brother or whatever. That's what you do.
But I wanted to ask you about because you're more on a national level, and we're insulated in this Philadelphia bubble, so we see everything, and so you're not seeing the Wawa ads and this and that, and So, but is he still as as big all across the country?
They just had LeBron on their podcast. They're huge.
Yeah. All right.
I mean,
he's on TV. Isn't he doing a talk show? I don't know if that's going to work.
Well, he's taping it today. Yeah. I mean, listen, they're giving away tickets. And if you get a ticket,
by the way, not a great sign.
Yeah. But because I don't think you buy tickets, but you have to go and get in line to get the tickets.
It's a studio audience.
And even if you get tickets, you're not guaranteed to get into the room. All right. And so I think a lot of people don't realize that. And so they'll get their ticket thinking they're going to get admitted.
By the way, I don't realize that. I've been a guest on those types of shows, but I've never stood in line. I don't care.
Right. Yeah. If they made it.
Yeah, you forget that. I mean, we just did a roast on Netflix, and apparently the audience had to wait for 2 hours before they got in. Jeez. Then the shoot was 4 hours, and I was like, this is cruel that you put the audience.
Yeah.
Not to mention our sets. But, on top of that.
Well,
Jesus.
Speaking of the roast, Sam, it was you and Mark Norman, and you guys do the We Might Be Drunk podcast, and I think it's fantastic. I really like seeing how there's a lot of cross-pollination, and so people that I follow on Instagram will end up in my feed, and then I'll see you guys in my feed. And one of the ones that you guys did recently within the last couple of months was I loved. It was you and Ben Schwartz, and you guys kind of just dove back into your history and how you got to where you are, talking about internships and being a page on Letterman and stuff like that. Can you share a little bit about your stories and how you rose through the ranks?
Yeah, I mean, that was such a fun episode. Ben Schwartz was just just a kindred spirit. We just hit it off. I'd never met him, but I'd seen a lot of his stuff, obviously. And Yeah, you do the trashy clubs. You do like when I was young, I remember like my big break was winning this festival called the Laughing Skull Festival in Atlanta. I would do well in festivals because I had short jokes and these, they'd make you do like 1-minute sets in some of these festivals to prove that you didn't suck. So
right.
We had one called like March Madness at Caroline's at comics, these old clubs, you'd go head to head with like your friend. And they'd be like 1 minute versus 1 minute. I think my opener was like, this is like 8 Mile for Jews, and I would do well in those. And like, I think comics like myself or like Mike Vecchione or like Dan Soder, we would like kind of hit hard in those things because we could kind of get to it pretty quickly. And then, and Soder's such a good riffer. So I think one of them, Soder beat me in the championship. We were like super young. And then another one, all these good comics would do them, and that kind of got me. The Laughing Skull in Atlanta got me like a year of road work. So I was just playing like B and C rooms for like a year after that, and it was like, I wouldn't say smooth sailing, but I was like a road comic.
You were ready to go when it happened. Speaking of you as a younger comedian, and I, just having you on today, I did a little checking into some stuff with you. I forgot you were on America's Got Talent. And
I try to forget too.
And I forgot that you apparently lost to a guy named Tape Face.
Yeah. That guy's like Chaplin though. That guy really
he's amazing. Yeah.
That guy's unbelievable. So like
he's a mime.
So people say you lost to a mime. I'm like, I know, but he's like a really good mime.
Yeah.
I have to explain like
it's a hard sell.
Like guess what? Lenny Bruce might lose to Marcel Marceau. Like
it's possible. He's a legend. Yeah.
I mean, no, I did pretty well, but the problem was I remember they put me on at like AGT. Like I went on that and you don't realize how much waiting around it is. And they're just trying to get you to trash other contestants, which I'm like, another comic was on there bombing. And they're like, what do you think? And I'm just like, I think he's doing well. Like, I'm not going to like, I'm not going to just be like, this guy sucks. What do you want me to do? Yeah. So I remember they put me on after this Jewish rap group and they just ate it. It was like, not right. And it was like 5,000 seats in Pasadena,
Right.
And I just hear Simon being like, you're terrible. You'll never work in this town again. Like, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is what I'm following. Yeah. And they like came off all sad. And I was like, all right, I guess I'm going to go tell jokes. And I just they asked like what my worst gig was. And I told some story about, I used to work the door at Broadway Comedy Club and they would let me go on stage sometimes. And during my set one night, a guy got up and spat on me because he thought I sucked that much.
Wow!
And I think that endeared me enough to them that even Simon was like, "All right, well, we hope you're good." And I killed that set. So I got a standing O in that set. And the best part is when they cut it together. I told a fart joke. I wasn't doing like my highest brow stuff. It's America's Got Talent. And the way they cut it together was like in a montage where like I tell some fart joke and it did kill in the room.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Then. It showed like Simon and Heidi and Mel B. All these they all give me a standing ovation. And like just the way they cut it together looks so stupid. And then Mel B. I looked ridiculous. If you see pictures of me, I had like curly bangs. I look like
you look like you just came out of like a bizarre prep school in Rome.
Dude, I mean that's like better than I deserve. I look like Julius Caesar's hipster brother with AIDS or something, I think. But I looked embarrassing. But and I wore like an awful hoodie sweatshirt. Like I'm like on TV. I'm like I couldn't spring for like anything nice. I remember Mel B was like, and you're so cute. She kept saying that in my head. I was like, I think I could bang Mel B. Like not that she's just giving me charity, clearly that I needed it. She was just that nice.
By the way, she's in like perpetual fantastic shape, even now.
Oh, she's beautiful, yeah. And then the next round they put me on at like midnight. And you're there at like 8 a.m. and then you go on at midnight.
Oh man!
And Simon's like, I did well again, but yeah, George Lopez was a guest judge, and in my head I'm like, he's got a golden buzzer. He's gonna give it to me. I'm a comedian. Of course he'll give it to me. And then this like Latino dance troupe went on before me, and he's like, the golden buzzer. I'm like, I guess he's more Hispanic than a comedian. This sucks. And then I went out after like a Destiny's Child group that like Simon again was like, you suck, you're the worst. And I was like, Jesus. So I went out and Simon's like, yeah, you were like pretty good. But then, like I'm kind of, your act made me tired. And I was like, well, it is midnight, that'd be part of it. But they eliminate it. And they have to do it in the most dramatic way. And it was like, oh, I hated it.
That manipulation. And every one of these shows, at some level, a producer comes up and says, why didn't you say, why didn't you do this? They're sculpting all of that. And so, that's all part of the deal. But I have no doubt they're trying to get you to beat up on everyone else. That's the mechanism.
It's all drama. Like, even if you watch one of these cooking shows, they have to say something like ridiculous. They'll be like, judging your dish, and they're like, unfortunately, we have to inform you that me and my husband are getting separated. And they're like, what? Like, because we are obsessed with this calamari salad. Just say the thing.
Nick brought up your podcast with Mark. Yeah. And I was watching recently, and it just had to be a couple of days ago. So you guys wrote and did sets on a John Stamos roast for
No. It felt like a John Stamos roast. He hated me so much. It was actually a roast of the year. Look, when I heard about it, I was like, I don't really like the idea of conceptual roasts. It
has to be a pointed target.
So Mark and I made the point, like, if we're going to do this, let's trash people like Diddy, Luigi, like we'll do people who are in prison. That was kind of our angle. Like, there's a reason they're not.
Yeah.
Because we realize like there's no point really to it unless you're doing it that way.
And so, but did you piss off Stamos? Is that in fact what happened? Because you guys were talking, and apparently he reacted poorly.
Yeah, I made a joke that he didn't like, and then he was like, that joke was done on the Bob Saget roast. And I was like, well, that was like 20 years ago. I don't remember. A friend of mine fed me that joke as I was going out there, and I was like, oh, that's funny. I'll use that. And like, I'm not going to like throw a writer under the bus. So I was just like, oh,
what was the joke, if you don't mind?
I don't even remember it. It was just like, it was like a quick, corny joke.
And he got pissed.
He was not happy, yeah.
The thing about, we talk about this all the time with those roasts.
It was just uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It wasn't good.
They orchestrate these things. And a lot of times, even the people that are there, they used to be in the, you would know the person, and you kind of had a relationship with the person, and you were kind of lovingly, dinging them. But a lot of the times, these are just conveyor belt things. They were cranking them out for the longest time, one after another. And I think they realized, even for the audience, it's like, it's too much. It's too repetitious. And it was, when you had, somebody of some import, that meant when you're roasting, third tier cast members from Baywatch, it doesn't mean anything. So the person has to be somebody of some prominence.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, they were running it like a conveyor belt, and then they did Tom Brady. So now it's like, well, how the hell is Netflix going to follow that up?
Top that.
He was so big, but then also afterwards, he was like, I really regret it. And I'm like, well, that's not good for you didn't know what they were going to do. It is tough when they trash like your family, or they trash, because you didn't sign up for that.
Yeah.
But, you're like, well, just kind of keep it on me. But then whenever you do roast, you hear certain people have rules. Like, apparently William Shatner was like, don't mention the murder. Or
a lot of people don't remember that his wife died in their swimming pool.
Yep.
Yeah. So you can't mention that. And it's like, I can't mention the Sunset Boulevard ending to her life. That's pretty dramatic,
Yeah.
And then also you're like, I remember I was telling Dave Attell once about like a roast battle set, and it was just, the jokes were so vicious and personal. Like, people will like research you and just go after you, and Dave's like, Jesus Christ, like, whatever happened to like, you're fat, He's right. He's right. He's right. But Dave is so good with that. Like, you have to remember, like, those kind of hit the hardest. Like, there's a reason Mark and I were going after Jeff out of the gate, to just kind of lighten it a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, let's make fun of Jeff. And then Jeff was like, what if I reveal that I've had cancer, and then you guys can make fun of my cancer? Like, he said it would mean a lot to him.
Yeah.
To make fun of Jeff. So they actually cut some of my favorite jokes about us trashing Jeff for having cancer. They cut one where I was like, Jeff, you actually look like a lump, and like women are terrified to find you in their shower. So, I love that one. They just cut it. I wrote that like the day before.
That's a great line.
That's really
terrified
good,
to find
Sam.
you in their shower is great.
Yeah, I mean, it was a weird experience, but I love working with Mark. Like they asked us to do it separately. They want us to not do it together, and we kind of neither of us really wanted to do it. So this was kind of what got us to. We're like, what if we just like. Because we don't get to, we do the pod, but we don't get to hang out. Like we're old friends.
Yeah, but
we don't get to hang out like we used to. So we miss each other. It's as gay as that sounds. We're just like, I miss seeing you.
Well, your friendship is so clear, but of the two of you, this is a casual observation. I think Mark is probably the one who might take criticism a little bit more personally. Would that be safe to say?
I don't know, because Mark also is the one who reads the comments. Like I can't.
He does? Why would he do that?
So I don't know. Maybe he does. He likes. It's masochistic. I don't know why he does it. So when you say that, I'm like, I don't know, but I don't.
Yeah.
Mark, we might both be equally sensitive. I don't know.
Sensitive.
Well,
comics are sensitive. We all look, we're thick-skinned, but we're also, you have to be thin-skinned to kind of like let your guard down and write jokes, but then you have to be and make fun of yourself, but you have to be thick-skinned to just deal with rejection for years. So
right.
Everyone in entertainment's kind of, you have to be, look, the world is garbage right now. You haven't killed yourself yet. You're doing great.
So how sensitive are you? So Mark and his wife, they just had a baby. Would you be upset if Mark gave the Godfather responsibilities to Big J. Okerson? And not you?
No, honestly, maybe Jay, just because Jay and Mark aren't as close. Like, I'm way closer with Mark.
Yeah.
But if he gave it to Joe List and not me, I wouldn't be there. I really wouldn't, because I think Joe would be a great Godfather.
Yeah.
And I am, I think, I'm not a good guy. I'm on the road all the time. You don't want me to be a godfather.
Godfathers don't do anything anyway.
I have a Swedish godfather who I've met like twice.
Yeah.
They don't. It was just like a friend of my mom was an artist, and he was like a friend of hers from the art world. And he like, I was just in Sweden. I was like, does Johan want to come? And she just said, your act is a little much for Johan. And I was like, I've met him like twice. I thought he'd want
Johan?
to. Yeah, Johan. He's like a very dapper man. He just,
I met my godfather once as well, and nice guy. He happened to be like a when my dad was a younger man, it was a friend of his, and they had this friendship. And I remember I met him. He handed me an old remote to the TV he had, and you want to play with this, and that was it. That's all I ever saw. So what I got from my godfather was the remote to an Admiral TV set, and that was that. I think we all have this fanciful vision of how involved the Godfather is in the rearing of the child. I don't know anyone who's that's right. It was in a popular movie. You might have heard of it.
Yeah. That movie was iconic. It had so many dramatic scenes like Godfather, and then it's just a person you never see.
Yes,
right.
Exactly.
Yeah, I want you to have this remote. It's to an old TV set.
Hey, Sam, I saw that not only the Miller Theater February 6th, you've also got another gig in Bethlehem on February 8th. So
that's an awesome venue, man. That's I had a great time there. I've done that one before. All these venues you go in and they have these legendary histories where they're like Elvis banged someone in this room. You're like, oh man,
yes.
Or you'll be in some gorgeous theater that they're just like Houdini levitated. And I'm just like, oh cool, I got like a new abortion chunk I'm trying. But,
do you have a bucket list venue that would just be the top to play? I mean, other than filling a stadium or something like that.
No, yeah, and also the arena gigs, they're like a flex, but they're not actually nearly as fun shows.
I'll bet. Yeah.
So I mean, look, if you get to that level, that's I talked to Shane last night, and what he's done is unbelievable. It's remarkable. Same with Nate Bargatze. What they're doing is so cool. But for me, it's like I'm already surpassed where I thought I would be. I mean, I did the Chicago Theater last year, the MSG Theater last year or 2 years ago, whatever it was, and they're incredible.
Yeah. It's a good place to be, man. We have when I look back on what I wanted to do in this business, I have gone way past what I ever thought I would. I'm like, I'm good. I'm happy.
I'm fine.
Yeah. It's always sunny.
Yes, right.
Yeah, but then I just saw that Nate Bargatze made $32 million last year.
That's nice,
That's
too.
also pretty great.
Yeah.
But he made way more than that, dude. I don't know where you saw those numbers. That's BS.
Okay.
No, that's right. And you derive the piece from a lot of people don't know where they want to go. And I think that's where they end up anxious about, I don't know, I need to be doing more. But I mean, if you hit your happy spot, so to speak, then you're golden,
Yeah, no, every day's pretty good. I mean, I'm irritable as hell, and I get annoyed with it a lot, but I'm not. I am happy. You know, that's the main thing.
Are you good out on the road? Are you? I mean, obviously you're out a lot, but the process itself of the in and out of hotels and all that crap, is that something? You know,
we're doing a tour bus starting next month, so it's not gonna be a lot of hotels.
You're getting your own tour bus?
Yeah, we're doing tour bus for like I'd say 40-something cities. I'm going pretty hard with that.
Will this be the first time you've ever employed a tour bus?
I did it last time. It was pretty fun. That's kind of why we're doing it again. And
Sam's Zoom feed froze up. Yeah. Bummer. Well, listen, a tour bus.
He's back.
Sam, we lost you for a second. You froze up there, brother. Now we got you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, everyone thinks you party so hard on a bus, but we have all these, like Blu-ray DVDs. We get drunk, but we're watching like Manhunter. Right. You know, just like badass, like 80s movie.
Love it.
Oh, that's great. Because we always think of the Jackson Browne. You got Richard Pryor in the video and all that.
Right.
I love the bus. Like dude, it eliminates travel stress. So I just look at the huge expense, but you wake up in the next city. I love that.
Yeah.
I just have a day. Like when I come to Philly, I have a day in Philly. We're actually doing a runner for that, so I don't even have to worry about that. But I'm doing all the other ones, like starting in Tulsa, we're on the bus, and it's fun, man. It's also a great like way to get out of a conversation backstage if someone's annoying you. You can just be like, dude, we gotta get in the bus.
Yes.
And you gotta know. We're just sitting there like they're just sitting there. They're not moving.
Yeah, I gotta get on the bus.
I love it.
No one knows. Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, Sam, we'll alert everyone of the appearance. The Miller Theater is February 6th is Sam's show. And then, like I said, in Bethlehem on the 8th. You can get tickets for the show at the Miller Theater at ensembleartsphilly.com. So make sure you grab those before they're all gone, and you will definitely have a good time if you go see Sam. Dude, have a great weekend, and thanks for checking in with us. We appreciate it.
Always great to see you guys. Thanks.
You got it, man. Sam Morril, guys. On the program. All right, we do need to take a break. Our good friend Dov Davidoff is in the Acme Lounge.
And we got to get you off in a little bit.
Get off. No, not getting off. It's funny. Yeah. So we have Apple and Eve Aesthetics in Percy that are here. My birthday's tomorrow, so Marissa had this idea to set up. They do tactile ASMR sessions. I am an ASMR person. The other day, I went to get my hair cut, and while I was waiting, I was in heaven because I was just sitting and listening to those scissors and all the little things. I love that stuff. So I'm all about this. This is wonderful. So I'm excited. So we have Eve, who is here. As we go into the commercial break, I'm going to go get pampered.
Yeah, you should.
If you don't mind. And then we'll get Dov in the studio, and we will chat with him. So we'll come back in just a moment with that, as well as the Preston and Steve Ticket Blitz. We only have 2 more words for you to enter today, and then we got to give away those tickets to the game on Sunday. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
Side by side.
Hey, I am so nervous. I'm shaking a little bit.
Antonio, do you know how to play Wipeout? Can you play Wipeout?
Stop it.
I never did, but we can.
Why don't you want to like trade 8? I'll start a beat and we can trade 8 on a little solo one or something like that.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, who's going to start first so we know?
Well, we'll start together.
All right. Oh, you start. Oh, okay.
Well, you know what? Here's the deal. I'll play a rhythm, and Antonio will sync up with me because he may start playing something I can't play.
Yeah.
So let me start.
That's probably inevitable.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and then at some point I'll do like a little 8-beat riff, and then he'll do it, and we'll figure it out, right?
Yeah.
All right.
You'll figure it out.
All right. I don't know what to do.
Awesome.
I'm sorry, I have to say, man, come on, what are you talking about? You sound great.
See?
Yeah.
So Chuck was standing back here, and he goes, he points at Preston, he goes, he's a rock drummer, and then he points at you, Antonio, he goes, he's a jazz drummer. He said there was a difference, and so I can't tell. I'm not a drummer. I can't tell the between the.
Yeah. Well, to begin with, the sound of the drums is very different. You know, yours are tuned like a rock kid.
Yep.
But man, your time is really good.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
That's, you see?
I appreciate
You beat yourself up for nothing. Listen to the man. He knows what he's talking about.
I don't even know what just happened and what I just watched, but the beats and your hands going at different times and your feet going at different times, it was amazing.
Well, but Kathy, and that speaks to why you need to go see. You need to go see in person, at the Ardmore, because it's obviously it's something that it's to see it and see it performed live is a wholly other thing. You appreciate it, hearing it, but seeing it is a whole other realm.
Yeah, well, I think seeing like a really good musician doing what they do live is like going to see an amazing, sports person.
Yeah.
Is the only place where you can actually see somebody do that at that level. So I think it's really interesting.
Can I ask? And I don't know if this. Listening, and Preston, obviously was going on about the Birdman soundtrack and everything. Were there any things that jump out for your composition for the movie that you're super proud of? Anything you could sort of demonstrate for us? Was there any sort of thing that you created or a passage or something that you were especially proud of?
I mean, to me, the most amazing thing about having been part of that project is that I only had the drums to do everything that I needed to do.
Was that per your idea, or did the director himself?
No, the director.
Okay.
The director was, because he's a drum fan. He was a big Pat Metheny fan, actually.
Right.
And he's the one that really wanted just drum set. So I had to figure out different ways of making the drums sound completely different.
To give them different shades of character.
Yeah. So that was one of the most interesting things about the whole project. Just the research I had to do to get different sounds out of the drums.
And Antonio, I know about the how you recorded that. Steve, they didn't film it and show Antonio the scenes as he was playing along. Can you tell him how they did it?
Yeah, it was a really unorthodox way of doing it, because they sent me the script, and Iñárritu, the director, wanted already some tracks before they started shooting. So we did the whole movie just off of the script.
Without ever seeing any imagery, you were just going off the written word.
So he would just sit in front of me, and I would ask him, this is a very long scene, so I would ask him to explain the scenes to me, and then he would just raise his hand whenever he would see the next phase of the scene happening in his head, so that I would get the timing right.
Yeah.
So then he was just sitting in front of me, and I would just be improvising, and then he would raise his hand, and I would think, okay, somebody opened the door.
Wow.
And then
That's
I would play an
crazy.
accent and then keep playing. So we did the whole movie like that.
Yeah.
It was really cool. And then they superimposed those
passages,
tracks, on the rough cut of the film. Then they showed me what they did, and then we redid a lot of the things.
You sort of shorted up.
Yeah, and this time looking at the film.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's why you have that it has such a jazz feel to it.
Yep.
Yeah, even
Absolutely.
cinematically.
Hey, Press, we only have a couple of more minutes if you wanted to.
Yeah, I want to get, if you don't mind, if you wouldn't mind doing a little improv for us real quick.
Yeah,
Just
sure.
Antonio Sanchez. Here we go. my God.
Holy hell! That's freaking amazing.
Oh my God, I'm telling you. This guy brings out voices of the drums you've never heard before. That squeaking at the end there.
I thought something had fallen because he was kind of reaching down, but you went underneath the drum?
He was playing with the snares. Yeah, and also hitting not only the hi-hat with the edges of the sticks, but the snare drum with the butt of the sticks at the same time.
Playing the whole drum. That's massively
unique.
impressive. Unbelievable.
Thanks for having me.
You kidding me? It's an honor of mine. Thank you so much for being
pleasure,
here.
man. Thank
Ladies and gentlemen, Antonio Sanchez. Thanks for being here, Antonio.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, guys.
And this, and then the next thing.
Okay, what is the next thing?
The next thing is there's another Philadelphia legend.
I don't see the phone line.
He's zooming.
Yeah, we're zooming.
Oh my God! All right, real quick, you have about 3 minutes left to enter the word flowers for the money clip. So you got to do that now. Flowers. And that we will get a winner a little bit, $500. Yes, he's a Philadelphia legend, and we love him. Going to be performing on, let's see, Saturday, yeah, at the Hard Rock in Atlantic City. And I'm telling you, I told you, I got a Twitter alert this morning that he was tweeting about us. And it was ridiculously early. We hadn't even started the show. It was like 5:30 this morning.
Yeah.
So I don't know what he's doing up at that hour. But ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Mr. Bob Saget is joining us.
Preston, Steve, I don't know what to say. And to hear 5 people applaud in the morning makes me feel like I'm on South Park. It's so good. I am so stupid. I got up as I do at my elderly age to go to the bathroom. And I said, hey, you know what? I'll tweet the show. That'll be great. And then I put, I'll be on at 7 a.m. because that's LA time. And I forgot that there is a time difference.
Yes, but I was shocked. So that would have been we would have been up at like 2 o'clock in the morning doing that this morning.
Yeah,
2:30 in the
I
morning.
watched the movie Mank last night because I wanted to know how good Hollywood used to be.
All right, let me ask you, Bob.
I just couldn't sleep. How are you guys doing? How are you?
We're doing well. And I wanted to ask you, by the way, because it's a story of Mankiewicz, who wrote the screenplay for it. Not to go off on this tangent.
No,
but,
I love I am tangents.
Are you? I contend a lot of people, when they finally see Citizen Kane, they get dismissive of it. It is a masterpiece, is it not? It is worth.
I believe it is.
Okay,
I believe it is.
And
it did a lot for snow globes. And sleds. Sleds went up.
Were those the tchotchkes they sold for the?
That was the merch right out in the Grauman's Chinese Theater.
So all the radio stations in the area, they got sent lists
that we have remaining to win tickets for the game on Sunday.
In that time, would you like to just reflect on the massage you just received?
I will, because here's what I'd like to do. I'll give you the rundown of that after we get a look at traffic, and that'll kill enough time so we can do the keyword, and then we'll welcome our guest. All right, so let's take a look at traffic, Cap. What's going on this morning, please?
There's police activity happening in Northeast Philly. Morril Road closed between Oxford Avenue and Ron Street because of a barricaded person in, I guess, a home over there. So this is in Northeast Philadelphia along Morril Road. That's closed this morning. Schuylkill eastbound slowing from the Blue Road into City Avenue, heavy Montgomery to the Vine. Westbound jams University to South Street, City out to Gladwin. 95 northbound jams the Betsy Ross Bridge to Cotman. 2 left lanes blocked with an accident. City Avenue southbound just before Route 23, Conshohocken State Road. There's an accident there to watch out for. Another one, Cheltenham Avenue at Coventry Avenue. And then Main Street at Greenwood Road in Lansdale, an accident there. In Delaware, 896 southbound at 95, right lane blocked with an accident. In New Jersey, 295 southbound, the off-ramp to 30 just reopened. That vehicle fire now cleared. This traffic report brought to you by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. They have been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org. And that's your traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
All right, thanks, guys. So we got a couple of minutes real quick here, but as a birthday gift to me, my friends here on the program invited in a young lady named Eve. She is from Apple and Eve Aesthetics in Percy. And they offer ASMR sessions, okay? So ASMR, which stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response. So it's the people from certain sounds and sensations. They get this almost, I call it a hypnotic sensation. Extreme relaxation.
Right.
Tingles, goosebumps, things like that. And so Eve does a light touching therapy. And so I just went over and she did it for like 10 minutes or so to me.
You were drooling.
I kid you not. I had some slobber coming off of my lower lip. I was that relaxed. Like immediately, I just started getting goosebumps all over my body. And she was, I liked her using her nails, her fingernails. Yeah. She has brushes and other tactile things with different types of textures on them that she can use. But I just like the nails. And down my shoulders and arms, and oh my God!
Are you gonna go? You're gonna go for the full session?
Oh yeah! Oh hell yes! Like this needs to be a regular thing for me, because I don't relax any deeper than that unless I'm absolutely completely asleep.
Right.
Massages are great.
Not even edibles.
Massages are great. Well, no, but massages are great. But there's also a little bit of there's a slight bit of discomfort or pain that's involved in working out your muscles that way. This is none of that.
Yeah, no, it seems like a brilliant idea, and we were saying that she needs to control this, needs to trademark this.
So Marissa's going to give me their contact information. Oh, here it is right here. AppleandEveAesthetics.com. So you'll want to check this out. They're in Percy, by the way. So I'm going to go get another session.
And it's wholesome and clean, and it's just something that is wonderful and relaxing.
So relaxing, crazy relaxing. Okay, it's 1:15. We can do this now. Yep. We got tickets to give away for the game on Sunday. You need to enter to win. How do you do that? Very simple. I'm going to give you a word, and you go to PrestonandSteve.com. Don't text it. Go to PrestonandSteve.com and enter it there. And the word is field, F-I-E-L-D. You need to enter that now. We'll do another one an hour from now, and then we're giving away the tickets. Each time you enter a word is another chance at you winning. So make sure you enter that word now, field, at PrestonandSteve.com. You win tickets to the game, and you also get to go to the Philly Sports Trips tailgate as well. So good luck to you, friend. We are happy to have this next gentleman in our studio. We love his visits here in our program. He's at Helium Comedy Club, had a gig last night. He is performing tonight and tomorrow as well, 7:30 and 10 p.m. Please welcome back to Philadelphia, Mr. Dov Davidoff. Good to see you, Dov.
Guys, quiet down. You're ruining my autonomous sensory meridian response system.
The invasive sounds can kill it. Yeah.
No, it is tremendous. I mean, it's, my inclination is to lean in the other direction as I'm a heterosexual, but I think it's a fascinating thing.
Okay, fascinating. No.
We'll ask you, are you the kind of guy who might occasionally get a Swedish massage or pamper yourself a little bit? You don't impress me. That's the guy who's rushing off.
No, it's fascinating though, and I know it's very real for some people.
Yeah.
I mean, Preston was talking about how it's interesting.
Keyboard, the clicking of we did one time on the air. We used to sit. There was sort of like a typing pool area at one of our older stations, and so to give verification to this and how profound it is for him. We had people come in who he was routinely sitting near typing, and he could, without looking, know who the person was.
I could identify them by their typing.
The fact that he was masturbating also gave it away.
that was part of it.
It's not only relaxation; it's
release.
Yeah, we're typing. This guy's.
It's good to have you back, and I think, by the way, this is a nice confluence because
I was
obviously
just listening to Sam too. Sam's funny.
He's great.
Yes.
But you were in Invincible.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
The movie.
Which is obviously, our Eagles are doing very well. And if you remember at the end of that film, they lost.
Yes. Hopefully it'll be different this time.
Yes. But it's cool. You're a sports guy, yes, no?
I follow fighting.
That's right, yes.
Yeah.
So this weekend is the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship.
Yeah, Eddie Alvarez. Yeah, he came to my show last time we were out here.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. And a very good fighter. I followed him for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting.
The whole
It really boils sports down. I mean, if you think about the essence of sports on some evolutionary level, it's like you're saying, I can do this better than you, but you're really just putting a ball in a hole.
Yeah.
Fighting, it's I can kill you. We're not going to actually go that far.
Right.
But we're going to find out who would survive. That to me is interesting.
Do you have a discipline that you like the most?
I like when they put it together, but I mean, boxing. Yeah,
straight up boxing. Yeah. All of them have their science related to it and how one wins. I'm kind of fascinated by the bare knuckle thing because it is a paring down.
Oh yeah,
have you ever seen?
They wrap the hand. Well, they wrap the hands behind the knuckle, so I'm not clear on how the physics work, but all of those soft bones that would normally sort of absorb some of what's going on are redirected in. So it's actually more dangerous than just bare knuckle fighting because you're wrapping the back of the hand.
Right.
So it becomes like a cast. It's rough stuff.
So Eddie was telling us though that when he first, because we just had him in, to promote the event, and he's a friend of the show, and he was talking about
great.
his hands when they were first started doing it. He wasn't preparing correctly, and his hands ballooned up.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
That's why I tell jokes for money. Come to Helium this weekend. God bless you. Huh? We're going to have a good time.
How many?
And I promise no blood.
How many fights have you been in your life?
I've sparred. So, it's an approximation of a fight. I've had my nose moved. I've been banged up a little bit.
I've been thinking about that because, my son is 17 years old, and I was thinking about when I was in high school and how afraid I was of somebody wanting to fight me and avoiding places. Like, I'm like, I don't want to go to that football game.
It's not, once you've been, I think it's very healthy for people to get involved in just enough physical contact that the proximity doesn't bother you.
You lose that. Preston trained Krav Maga to get that first. I've been punched in the face in fights.
Yeah.
Once you get that out of the way, it's not like you would just go up to a stranger and say, could you clock me one? But
I use ASMR to defend myself. I'll pull out a keyboard. Sometimes I'll stroke someone's hair gently.
And you lull them? Yeah.
Yeah, I lull them to sleep, and then I bang them from behind, which is not gay because I don't enjoy it.
There you go.
Oh.
Yeah. You're making a statement, right?
Yeah, making a statement.
I wanted to ask you, Dov. There's a part of your wheelhouse, your capabilities that amazes me. You're kind of a real estate mogul.
In a sense, I've got a small private equity, a small unsophisticated private equity thing going on. I was thinking about the utility of money, and I think people are very confused by it. Money solves money problems, and after that, it doesn't do much. I was thinking about, we always see these headlines of what people are making because human beings love to track metrics. It's a very lizard brain thing. If you give me $1 million right now, and I don't have that much, I'm a garden variety millionaire, but it's like, I really don't, I don't understand what the fascination is once you realize the utility value of money drops off a cliff once you have enough of it. If I give you another car and you have 2 cars, you're like, great. You just drive it around, you have some fun, and you put it back in the garage. It will not sustain any endorphin release. So the whole thing's a myth.
I find that fascinating. But you came to this knowledge apparently fairly early on.
I'm not, by the way, out there. I'm not knocking anybody who's trying to cover rent. I'm not talking about that. No. I'm talking about somebody made $10 million or $100. There's no difference. It doesn't matter.
And this is the thing we bring up all the time. How much do you need? How much?
Yep.
At what point? Like I would say, we see these people with 5, 6. And I don't listen. God bless if that's what you want. Have at it.
If you want political power, if you want to, initiate some shift in the world, Bill Gates, I remember in that documentary, talked about how he didn't have nearly enough money to execute on this nuclear energy plans that he wanted to do. If you want to change the world, you need a lot of dough. But the way it's used most of the time, it's just not that valuable.
Right.
Norm Macdonald had a show, and he had a few over the years, but he had one where it was an interview show, and one of his guests one time was Judge Judy Scheinlin. And I'll never forget this. That he was talking to Judy about her wealth and how much she's made over the years, mostly because of syndication.
Yeah, sure.
And
Norm had no respect for money.
Well, he didn't. And the way that he approached the conversation with Judy was respectful to her,
of course,
but not to the money situation, right? And she's fabulously wealthy. And she said something that was striking to me, which was that amount of wealth eliminates that stressor. She never has to worry about money again. Neither does her family ever.
Far less than that eliminates that stressor.
But as far as buying happiness or contentment or whatever, it really had very little impact.
No, it's very clear. All the behavioral psychology around it. It's the utility value of something. If you have 5 bottles of water, number 6 isn't going to do anything. If you're in the desert and you need 1 bottle, it's all relative. It doesn't mean anything after a while.
It's very insightful, though.
It's a story after a while. It's just a story and a headline for clicks.
Well, I realize a lot of people have difficulty coming to this very clear realization for you. And so they'll labor and they'll point their efforts in directions that aren't going to in the long term benefit them.
Yeah, listen, expenses are real, but I'm not talking about expenses. I'm talking about after you've met that threshold. After that, it's just a story.
Yeah, well, I think people just want to not have to work anymore, or you know.
But again, that's what I'm referring to.
Yeah.
After that threshold, you don't need $100 million to not work.
Yeah.
Right.
You understand?
What do you need?
So we're always. I'll tell you what you need. If you had $10 million, you could live on T-bills at 4% a year, guaranteed by the U.S. government. It gives you $400,000 a year. If you can't live on that, you're not going to be happy living on anything.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's this thing where people are obsessed with the numbers and the metrics and following the athlete. None of it matters.
So I'm watching, or I just finished watching American Primeval on Netflix, right?
Yeah.
So it's set in 1857 Utah. And, and it also goes back to, sort of our boxing thing, right? Because there were a couple of different things going on at that time, right? Like, you didn't know if I was going to kill you. I didn't know if you were going to kill me for whatever reason. At one point, this guy has a stack of bills, and I'm thinking, well, that's all great and good and all, but, like, somebody's going to want that stack of bills. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah. That's why you got to put Bitcoin on a hard drive. Nobody can see your stack.
Are you a Bitcoin guy?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah, but it's a very layered conversation, It's hard to have in short periods of time. It really goes back to what is money. Money was historically chosen by the people. A buck, it comes from a buck skin, meaning it was from a deer.
Yeah.
And that was rare and scarce and valuable because you had to hunt it and get it, and then you could trade it for things, and it carried value over time and space. And so it starts with the history of money.
Let me ask you, we've always wondered, the NFTs, these pieces of art.
I'm only interested in women, if that's the answer to the question,
these artificial living in the cyber world pieces of art and things that people
NFTs, non-fungible tokens.
Right.
Yeah, that's a different thing. That's a collectible. If you want to collect digital stuff, that's not an investment for me.
Right.
Bitcoin is sound money. It's rare. It's scarce. It has not been hacked inside of 16 years, and the government's starting to agree with me.
Yeah. Well, what's its value? Listen, I know we didn't get into this conversation.
The value is what you and I agree it is.
Value. Diamonds have a value.
Gold has a value because you and I agree it has value.
Exactly.
It's just metal. You can't eat it. There's no inherent value.
But you can use it for things.
Yeah, but that's not the monetary value. You can use it to conduct electricity thing.
Right.
The gold, without the monetary value, would plummet to a very small amount of money, whatever it took to get it out of the ground.
Very clear. Yeah.
It wouldn't be at $2,800 an ounce. Not to mention, gold hasn't gone up or down in 2000s of years. It's just retained its purchasing power. Meaning, if you bought gold an ounce 2,000 years ago, you could buy a fine men's suit. Today, you can buy one fine men's suit with the same ounce of gold. Gold has not gone up. The value of your paper money has gone down. And so the dollar is worth 99% less over the last 100 years. So cash is a melting ice cube. So that's why poor people get poorer and wealthy people that buy assets tend to rise with inflation. So they don't get impacted in the same way.
Dude,
that's a lot of the Bitcoin shit going on.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Stop.
Right.
Yeah, you're dialed in at a high level with this stuff.
Yeah, come out to Helium. I'll be telling jokes.
Which is way different than your character.
Bring your own
crashing.
popcorn, folks.
Jokes. And you'll give back tickles, too.
Yeah.
So to bring this around about, is it safe to say, and I believe it is because you're extraordinarily funny on stage,
I try,
that when you're doing it, you're in a place where you're doing it simply for the joy of being on stage and entertaining people?
Well,
it's the predicate's not.
No, but it's no. Listen, I still need to make money.
Yeah,
I'm not. I still want to make income. I'm not knocking money. I'm just saying that the amount of bandwidth associated with money it's all. Most of it's nonsense. But no. Jokes are an interesting way to reconcile existence, and I still want to. Yeah, and I haven't done enough with social media, and so I started doing this SDR podcast. Is the name of it. We're undergoing a rebrand now, but it's I like talking to people and trying to figure things out, and I like making money. I just the observation about the headlines, it's all just click stuff.
I mean, listen, you
look at depression and divorce and all. None of those metrics decline.
Yeah, for anybody
with
listening,
money. It's like
you had did you not grow up in a junkyard or
my father was in the junk business. Yeah, junkyard for real.
Somebody wants to text in and say, "Oh, this guy doesn't know about struggle." I'm like, you don't know anything about
Dov
Davidoff.
story. But I'm not talking about struggle.
Yeah.
Money is tremendous if you have to make rent.
Yeah.
Remove that from the conversation. I'm talking about these headlines. The difference between having enough to make rent and $30 million in a year, they have no relationship.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the headlines associated with the money. Rent is real.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about that. Money will make your life better to a certain point. After that, it will not. And that's what people are confused about.
So,
and all of the data, this isn't my opinion. I mean, this is basically a fact.
When you are putting your material together, and because you're on stage, you're many different people, with the overriding principle that you're still you.
Yeah.
But do you shape the show based on your a set on a theme? Are you a little bit more random when you're on stage? Because
I like to play around.
Yeah, because it seems like you've got a lot more. And I've watched you for years. A little bit more improvisational, if I'm correct in that.
No. I like to go out into the crowd as long as people aren't too intoxicated, and play around and find what you can find. But you just have to have material to fall back on. Otherwise, you could dive into a rabbit hole you never come out of.
When working with the crowd, because and I love crowd work. But what I think bothers me most about crowd work is when the person in the crowd is trying to be funny.
Oh yeah,
rather than just answering the questions.
No, that's why you got to bounce back into material. You got to grab the crowd again because they'll take the energy away from it. If you start yip yapping with some moron who's on his seventh beer basket, it gets messy. You got to know the difference.
And he thinks he's helping. He thinks he's helping. A lot of times you'll see him after the show. Hey. Yeah. Like, hey, help, right?
He's helping bring shame on his family, is what he's helping.
Yeah, because
he's a moron.
Yeah.
No, people, that's a real litmus test for a human being. If you really get into hollering and heckling, I mean, you just shoot yourself.
Yeah.
Do you think not enough people commit harikari? More people should end it.
No, I've been in a club and had I'm watching the show and there's somebody 2 tables over that is just commenting, a running commentary, just loud enough for our little group to hear over here. Maybe not for you to hear on stage. And I'm like, come on.
I try to pick that out.
Doing?
I try to point that out and help the crowd. I wish clubs would really be on top of that because Well, how do you
good clubs are?
How do you legislate human decency?
Yeah.
We have a problem with that. We don't crack heads enough, and you can thank your liberal politicians for that. You got to support cops to do their job so that we don't have chaos everywhere. Yes, I understand race and religion and this and that. There's a lot going on, but without rules in the street, you have chaos.
Right. You know what I'll never get about people talking in the crowd is how uncomfortable that makes everybody around them.
It does.
Like the lack of empathy and or sympathy.
They don't care about anything.
I know. And how are you that removed from society where you can't tell that Preston's uncomfortable 2 tables over because I can't shut the F up?
That's why you got to hit people in the head. I'm not even kidding. I believe it's the only thing that works. I had a neighbor. This is what goes on in New York. You don't have a right to defend yourself in the sense that you would think about it, right? You like, so in Florida or Texas, you have a stand your ground line. In New York, you have a duty to retreat. I learned this because I spent the night in jail. I called on my neighbors. Music. It was running an after-hours club next to on the other side of my wall. I had a 3-year-old kid at the time. He wasn't there, luckily, but finally, after a month of saying, hey, could you, with a wink and a smile, could you turn it down? Could you turn it down? This guy didn't turn down a thing.
Yeah.
It was an F you to me the whole time. Finally, I called the cops, because what am I going to run in and shut 20 people down?
Right.
I call the cops. Cops come. Long story short, he comes back to my door after the cop leaves, banging on my door at 3 a.m. I crack the door open. He pushes his way in. I bang his, I hit him with a right hand in his face, open up his lip. He's bleeding a little bit. His head bounced off the wall. He had another guy. Long story short, calls the cops back on me. They arrest me.
What?
So
welcome to your blue cities, people.
So it was a forced entry?
It was on the verge of that. But regardless, my observation was that what kind of world, what are we incentivizing by not allowing people to either stand their ground or encouraging them in the street to be able to do something? In New York, something happens on the train, everybody stares at their feet. It's a mess.
Yeah.
It's a mess. You got to empower. You got to have rules in the street.
So occasional clocking is what you're saying.
No, frequent. Frequent.
New York scares me, man. The last time I was there, I saw this. I actually heard the guy a block away. And he's walking in my direction, and I was like, thank God they have like those little walking lanes. There may be bike lanes or whatever. So I got off the sidewalk, and this dude's pounding on like parking meters and stuff. And then I end up seeing a dude. was
mentally ill all over the street.
I was taking the train home, so I'm now in Penn Station, and I hear the dude at the top of the steps, and I was like, wherever this dude goes, I'm going in the opposite direction because I'm,
Yeah.
I don't want to be a target just by making eye contact.
And so, yeah, but that's the thing. It's like, what do you do? I mean, how do you empower police? And then police aren't social workers. I mean, if you decriminalize shooting heroin in the street, you're going to have all kinds of other challenges. And so that's what we've done.
How's your ability to tap? I mean, obviously, we talked about you being raised kind of on a commune, right? It was
my mother was wrapped up in a cult.
Right.
It was a cult commune. Right. We were in India.
Right.
Yeah. But I was in a junkyard in Jersey. I was
I know. I remember the whole, it's an amazing story.
Yeah.
And we're waiting for the Dov Davidoff movie.
I wrote the book. We were working on a movie, but life's too short.
People don't have a clue as to
it's an interesting story.
You've got like nine movies in your life. Yeah?
I wanted to.
Did you ever go to the commune? Did you ever go to India?
Oh, yeah.
And what was that like?
I was in Sai Baba's village. Yeah, I mean,
What village, I'm sorry?
Sai Baba was his name. We stayed on concrete slabs for like 25 cents a night. It was basically, people thought he was talking to God, but he wasn't. He was a hustler. No. I mean, I have a lot of respect for faith, and spirituality and all. It's just, it wasn't authentic.
Are you tacitly interested in cults and stuff like that, or are you?
I know what leads. People need stuff to believe in, and it's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of apparent to me how people get involved in that stuff. So I'm not really into reading about it or anything like that. Right. But I guess it's fascinating that. That people can believe deeply enough. Like that dude, Applewhite, encouraged everybody to cut their genitals off, and it had something to do with being connected to, being transported up into the sky.
Yeah.
Was he held, Bob?
Which is a heavy move. I mean, to convince somebody to,
Yeah.
I mean, I could, it's like.
To walk them all the way down that path to commit that level of insanity, really.
Yeah.
Your observations of your mom falling prey to that, I'm sure.
Well, my mother wasn't involved in a cult like that. I was more constructive. They were healthy in some ways. They were convinced that the apocalypse was inevitable and that there would be some sort of force field and shared living, and they were vegetarian and they grew their own food. And so parts of it made sense. But the part of it that never made sense to me, even as a 12-year-old, I said to her, they would meet in New York City at a cathedral, and their land, the commune, was 4 hours north of New York City. I could never wrap my head around it. I was like, do whatever you want philosophically. How are you people going to make it out of the Holland Tunnel? If the bombs drop, you can't get out of that city after a Knicks game. The Holland Tunnel the bombs are going to drop, and you people are going to walk through the bridges? What are you talking about? Even before you get to the philosophy and the religion, you won't make it there, honey.
No feasibility study.
No feasibility study. There's no practicality. There's no logic in it.
Right,
I was like, yeah. We'll all eat vegetarian soup 4 hours north of where the bombs drop. Shut up. That was the problem.
And you knew that at 12 years old.
Yeah, 12. I could go, wait a second, there's a lot of traffic, and we're not in a nuclear war yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it didn't take a lot of projection to go, things could really jam up around here in the event of a bomb.
It's funny because I watched The Walking Dead, and I often thought, I was like, where is everybody? Like, there's 350 million people in this country.
Yeah.
And, where is everyone?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and they're not all zombies,
It's wild to see, though.
They're in the subway in New York.
When they've gone into towns, like they go to Pripyat, or, they go to towns that have been abandoned, and how nature starts to
nature's taking it all
reclaims it like furiously fast. It's like
George Carlin had a bit about we said you're ruining the world and global. It's like you're doing nothing to the world. The world will all come back. 100 years from now, they'll forget human beings ever existed if we blow ourselves up.
Yeah.
He was like, we're effed. The planet will be fine.
Is that what? Yes, the planet will be fine. That's a better. He's saying it right.
I think his conceit was that humans were introduced so that the Earth wanted plastic and introduced humans.
Yes, there you go. Yeah. No, it reclaims fast. Buildings all turn back
wild.
into sand.
Yeah. So, well, listen, it's deep thinking is what you can get at Helium with great comedy this weekend.
I'll give it a shot.
And you come through to Philly often, Dov. What do you like to do when you're here and when you're not working?
I was thinking about going to the art museum from here. I just looked it up. I just Googled. They open at 10 a.m.
It's great.
Yeah, Philly's a great town. I would live in a city like Philly if I could. You know, my son is in North Jersey. I got to be near him. But I like Philly a lot.
You're from North Jersey, right?
I'm from Englishtown, New Jersey. Working class.
Yeah.
It was sort of central, and then I've lived in the city since I was a kid.
Okay, all right.
In
And
New
so,
York
yeah,
City.
I love the. So coming from New York,
Yep.
Philadelphia has always been, and I always say this.
Yep.
Philadelphia for me is all of what I like with half the BS.
Agreed.
You know?
Agreed.
Yeah.
No, I'm in. I mean, if I didn't logistically need to be there, I mean, I'm also in business in New York,
Right.
so I don't have a choice where I'm going to live, but I like it a lot.
How old's your son?
He's 6.
Oh, he's a little
6.
kid.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
yeah, kindergarten. Yeah, I got started late.
Listen,
Yeah.
are you trying to? I think that we don't have kids.
Yeah.
But I think the inclination is always to try to say, like this music, like this, like what I'm into. Are you that? Are you?
No, you know, I
yeah.
mean, I'm just trying to track the. I don't know. I mean, it's interesting. I'm not even sure when we're talking.
You got to buy him baby's first bare knuckle kit.
No.
Started with
No, I want him to have, not be afraid of people, but I don't want him getting hurt. you know? It's like, I was trying to write a joke about even communicating with kids. Like we'll walk around. I think we're talking, but I don't know. Like he goes, he likes trucks, and he'll go, look at that truck. And I go, yeah. And he goes, did you see it? And I said, yeah. And he goes, did you like it? I said, yeah. And he goes, did you see it? I'm like, well, what are you, a homicide detective? It's this circular, it's constant circles going on. I don't know what's happening.
The amount of questions. But then you have to realize that, like, their brain is just, they don't have as much information. Listen, I was playing golf with my son this past summer. And we were on the tee box getting ready to tee off. And clearly you use the driver.
Yep.
Sometimes you use a 3-wood. And if you're not good with your wood, sometimes you use an iron.
Yeah.
And so somebody was like, what are you going to use? And I just go, I'm going to use a putter. And my son, who's 16 years old, started howling, laughing, right? It wasn't even a funny joke. But he had never heard that before.
Of course.
You know what I mean? So it was hilarious
No,
to him.
kids are funny because they're experiencing the world in a way that you forgot about, right?
Yep.
That question barrage, though, and not having kids and seeing parents deal with it, that where you are in a perpetual state of interrogation on everything.
Yeah.
I don't think psychologically, I think I would fold. I would give up nuclear
It's
secrets.
weird. We were at a crowded crosswalk, and my kid, he goes, my penis is hard. And
oh my God.
Yeah, I'm reasonably quick-witted, but I had nothing for that one. But I didn't want him to feel embarrassed. So I said, we're all hard out in these streets, boy. No, it's they'll just say stuff. They'll just say stuff. Yeah.
I would also the ability to retain some of that is a great assist to any comedian to see the world in that
it's
way.
helpful. Yeah.
Are you able to channel some of that energy?
But even funny little things like you're not sure how to he sleeps with me sometimes. He said, will you ever marry a wife? And I said, I don't know, And then he goes, can you kill a dinosaur with a machine gun? and both questions had equal weight. He didn't care whether I marry a wife or not. And I don't know. I don't know that I care whether I marry a wife or not.
I'm kind of interested in the machine gun question.
Great question.
Yeah, the answer was it depends on the caliber and the number of bullets and the size of the dinosaur.
Thickness of the skin.
Yeah. All the
You
physics.
don't want to mislead them.
Right.
Oh, no, I tell them. I said, and encounters with dinosaurs can be far less treacherous than a divorce. I've been there, too.
When my son was 6 or 7, he's 18 now, I started in my notes app just writing this stuff down. Do you do that? Do you write these things down?
I sometimes write things down. I have a lot of pictures.
Yeah.
A lot of pictures I remember. Yeah, but no, I haven't been writing much of it down.
I think you should because
I think you're right.
Especially the machine gun stuff. Like, first of all, it's comedy material, but second of all, you'll look back on it in 10 years and be like, man, I miss those dinosaur questions.
My dad
right,
kept an extensive, like he was, a World War II vet and just he was that kind of guy. But he, through everything, kept an extensive journal of things that happened from day to day. And then towards the end, a couple years ago, he recorded about hours of audio of him kind of going back through the journals so that we would have those moments recounted in his voice. I don't think that you could possibly have a greater gift to give to your kids. I mean, he's with us now forever.
I agree. Yeah, that's part of why I wrote a book, you know. It's a lot about the way I see the world. I mean, if no one reads it but he does, that'll be good.
That's great. Did it come easily or was it difficult?
The book? Parts of it were difficult. Part of it came relatively easily. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a real writer.
Right.
Like, I don't love sitting down for hours writing.
Right.
Yeah.
But what he does love doing is getting on stage and talking to you. So Helium Comedy Club, that's where you're going to see Dov tonight and tomorrow, 7:30 and 10 o'clock is when the shows are. Tickets at heliumcomedy.com, of course. It's good to see you, man.
Good to see you guys. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Dov Davidoff, gang. We'll take a break. Come back in a moment. Stay there.
Preston and Steve.
The Oscars were last night. How about all of that? So yeah, they had a red carpet and the full deal. The documentary feature went to My Octopus Teacher. It's been mentioned several times on the show, so wanted to throw that in there. Accepting was the octopus. And there was no wrap-up music. He just kept sucking and clicking and doing that whole thing for a long time. So,
Is that him walking up?
Suction cups, yeah.
That's him walking up to the podium. It was awkward, but listen, I mean, he was the star of the film. So.
It is a hell of a movie if you get a chance to see
I do.
it. Think of a Nomad Land, but with sea creatures.
They really should have put the octopus in the in memoriam section. I don't know why they didn't.
Did he die?
Well, he's an octopus. I mean, the movie came out like 2 years ago.
How long does your average octopus live?
I'll bet
the length of a documentary movie.
I'll bet they live longer than you think.
No,
and
they don't.
They live like a year.
They don't.
Really?
Yeah, watch the movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wait,
you saw it too, Kathy?
Yeah,
I saw the movie,
great.
and I don't remember that shocking piece of
That's
news.
sad.
What?
Poor thing.
All right,
Well,
I'm
maybe it
gonna
was a
check
thing.
it out.
3 to 5 years.
3 to 5
All right,
years.
see, they're already getting longer lives.
See, he could still
1 year.
He could have accepted the award.
I wouldn't have wasted time with this dickhead then if I was an actor. I got a little living to do, baby.
All right, Yolanda Hadid
I know Yolanda
is in love with. Thank you, Casey.
You're welcome.
In love with her daughter Gigi Hadid's daughter Kai.
So she loves her granddaughter?
She does.
Oh, my
Steve.
God.
I told
So
you.
who got the scoop on this
The
one?
news is big here this morning.
Wow.
Don't go to press yet.
Yeah.
I've got something.
She shared a tribute.
Yolanda Hadid, granddaughter.
She,
Do you have a source that can confirm this? I'm not going with this unless you have corroboration.
well, they heard from an octopus that actually.
In a parking garage.
Yeah.
The octopus was in the shadows, but
I have it on good authority that Yolanda Hadid loves her granddaughter.
Oh my God.
would you go on record with that?
You are people who don't want this information out.
Oh my God.
He's scared, man.
I'm very scared.
And then he just walked away. That's my new favorite thing. The octopus walking away. In a cavernous room with lots of reverb so you can hear it.
I can see you're an octopus. Even in shadow.
He's got a trench coat on.
He doesn't even need a trench coat. He's got like this amazing camouflage.
Listen, he's running now.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Casey, he just blends in with the floor.
It's amazing.
A dove formerly owned by Prince has passed away.
Yeah. Well, you know, he was big into the doves when doves cry.
Of course. But I didn't know that he had, well, this particular dove was named Divinity.
Yeah.
Female white dove owned by Prince. She died on Tuesday following a recent decline in her health due to her age. She was 28 years old.
That is an exceptionally old dove.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had a cat that lived to 22, and that seemed like an eternity for a pet lifespan.
Yes.
But listen, I know that some birds, like African greys and so on, can live for like 80 years.
Absolutely.
But
They usually outlive their owners.
But I didn't think a dove had that kind of a shelf life, for lack of a better
I bathe
term.
in the purifying waters of Lake Minnetonka. And
That must have been
what
what
I
did it.
attribute my longevity to.
Well, longevity for divinity.
Following Prince's death in 2016, Divinity remained at his Paisley Park and could be seen during the tours of his former estate.
Divinity conducted the tours.
According to the executive director of the Paisley Park tours, said Divinity's beautiful coo has welcomed visitors since Paisley Park first opened its gates to the public in October 2016. She was one of the enduring links to Prince for thousands of fans. She will be missed.
I would love to go to Paisley Park.
Me too.
I read there was a really fascinating article. Prince started writing an autobiography, and he hired a writer to help him write it. And so a year or so before he died, the writing process began, and then the writer spent a lot of time in Paisley Park. And I've gained so much more of an appreciation for Prince after his death, which makes me feel guilty for some weird reason. But just everything that went into Paisley Park and his life is really amazing.
I was just watching a replay of yesterday of him at the Super Bowl when he did the halftime.
God.
It was awesome.
Yeah, and I've his version along with Danny Harrison and Tom Petty of "While My Guitar Gently Weeps" from Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony years ago is just unbelievably great.
The outside of Paisley Park looks like a
school or
you would not
like
you would
that.
have no idea.
What I haven't seen are pictures of the inside.
It's pretty amazing. I mean, it's like a modern Graceland. Like it's Prince through and through.
Our old boss has been to parties there, Jim McGuinn, because he's a program director in Minneapolis, and that's where it is.
That's cool.
So yeah, I would
Elevator
love to go
inside and all the whole deal.
So in addition to Divinity, Prince also owned a dove named Majesty, which according to reports were quiet. Both of them were quiet in the immediate days following his death, but they perked up after hearing his music.
I don't want to talk.
And a new generation of doves will continue to live on.
This is what it sounds like when doves cry. I'm gonna throw up.
That's what it sounds like.
That's what it sounds
When
like.
doves cry.
Yeah, they were upset about Prince's death.
I swear to God, I'm gonna throw up.
Oh my God! Hey, are doves the same things as pigeons?
No,
no,
they're
Not
related.
even close.
They are related.
Yeah, they're in the same bird family.
That's what I mean.
If you look at their license, there's a delineation.
Okay.
My dad and I used to go dove hunting regularly. We used to blast those things out of the sky.
Dude, I mean, come on.
We'd eat them.
I know, but still, it's like puppy hunting. You know? It's so nice and cute and peaceful.
They're different than the ones that you see. They're,
Okay.
they're the gray colored
They kill
ones.
families.
Okay.
Yes.
They are all tatted up.
He was doing service to the families of Kentucky.
They are literally the symbol for peace, however.
Yes.
I was completely eaten by a dove today. Anyone kill them for us.
Son, we got work to do.
We beat it to death with an olive branch.
I have a hair change story that
That's a cool sound effect.
After splitting from her fiance, Dale Moss, Bachelorette alum Claire Crawley is ready for love and a new pink hairdo.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
I saw it.
Yeah?
I've not seen it.
It's not over the top.
It's not crazy hot
It's
pink.
light. She says she wanted to show that she could do something crazy.
Okay.
As we observed, everything she's done shows she can do something crazy.
Oh, you're right. It's a nice pink. It's like an ombre.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. She didn't go. I was thinking like shocking. Like Katy Perry when she had super pink hair. Anyway.
Getting the tattoo of Florida on her forehead.
Did you see that guy?
I did.
Yes. He's got a tattoo of the state right on his forehead.
Ridiculous.
All righty, buddy. Source tells us she sees her time spent with Dale as something of her past and is ready to move forward.
It helped me to learn about myself.
So she has pink hair now.
Okay, the ombre's good. I kind of prefer the Ganon, bro.
What's the Ganon?
Come on.
Come on, bro.
Keep going. Do it. Finish it.
I'm not finishing
Come on.
it.
It's Ganon, bro. I like the up dog.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Here's the tattoo of the Florida, by the way.
That looks good.
Oh, man, what is going on?
I know. We have a monitor that's normally in front of us. It doesn't work, and I can't see the photos when they come up. But yes, that's just brilliant. Best performance by an actress in a motion picture drama went to Andra Day for The United States versus Billie Holiday. And overall best motion picture drama went to Nomadland. So there you go. That's our first foray into a very strange awards year.
It was. You know what was one of the weirder things, Preston? At certain points when they were going into a commercial and they had the nominees, they'd put the nominees up and they'd bring up their microphones so that they could sort of like talk and like. And there was, did you see Case? I don't know, because there was a point where Pacino was up for something and they were all, "Hi, Mr. Pacino, I'm a big fan of yours." And there's this cross talk that's not, no one was overseeing it. It was just like you were listening in on a Zoom call.
Wait, so the crosstalk was between the fellow nominees?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So they did that a couple times. If they ever do this again, they should not do that again.
Yeah, that's kind of weird, right?
It's very weird.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is something supposed to be happening?
What was great, though, is when Soul won for best, I think it was best animated. Who do you call it? Tracy Morgan pronounced it as Saul, right? He goes, and the winner is, and he goes, Saul. And then there was no reaction because there was no movie called Saw.
Right.
And then he realized that he had made the mistake. And then they had cut to the it was for best original song. But either way, the actors, it was Sudeikis, it was the people that were up for the next award.
Right.
They were having a ball with it. They were cracking up. Don Cheadle was making fun of them, and it was really, really.
I think Pacino didn't realize that he was still on the Zoom call because he was standing in the doorway pleasuring himself.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Oh no, you
How
don't do
awkward
that.
is that?
It feels so good.
Right.
Well, I didn't see that clip, but I did see. I saw a clip.
I'm gonna shout!
Oh my God! Splat.
All over my walls and when my children play with their toys. You were expecting something like that. There were a few people who clearly were not quite up to speed on the tech.
I'm gonna shoot over here.
That was good.
Oh man!
Right after that.
Yes. Sorry, Nick.
No. This is also comedic. He fell asleep.
What?
Did he?
Yeah.
Was he asleep on camera, Nick?
Yeah. I mean, don't you usually fall asleep right afterwards?
Everybody's sleepy, and you've expanded yourself. So the camera pans across his screen, and listen, his eyes are closed, and he looks like he might have not actually have been asleep, but he looked like he was sleepy.
That was so much fun pleasuring myself.
Oh no, the poor guy.
I don't feel so good.
That's hilarious.
I'm up on out.
So, according to a new survey presented by the Water Quality and Health Council, 51% of Americans reported using a swimming pool as a communal bathtub, using the pool as an alternative to showering or rinsing off after engaging in exercise, yard work, or whatever it may be. Even though 64% of Americans know that pool chemicals don't eliminate the need to shower, people continue to do it anyway. By the way, the survey comes as experts from the council, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and, which I didn't know existed, the Pool and Hot Tub Alliance.
Oh, that's great. That's what Darth Vader faces off in the second movie.
Work to educate the public on healthy and safe swimming.
We shall crush the Pool Alliance.
Yes, my name is Mortimer Sanchez, and I'm with the Pool Alliance. And we think you're a bad leader.
The survey also revealed... I don't care. The survey also revealed that 24...
WMMR.
All right, well, we take a crack at the B5.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Let me just rattle off a few stories here for you. I'm going to start with this one. An East Tennessee man wearing a poorly made Orthodox Jewish rabbi disguise was arrested after he attempted to enter a Nashville Jewish community center last Monday. And it's like a bad costume. So Travis Keith Garland reportedly arrived at the Gordon Jewish Community Center wearing an obviously apparent fake beard, fake payette side locks, black clothing and a hat not common to the Orthodox Jewish community, and a white silk scarf meant to emulate the prayer shawl.
This is pathetic.
Yeah.
We're looking at a picture of it. It looks like a Halloween costume.
I think it's exactly what it is. Garland allegedly entered the building carrying his phone in a manner indicating recording or streaming with the device, and said, according to police, and when he stopped in front of the desk, staff member, the faux Orthodox Jew demanded to speak to a rabbi.
You know, gave it away. He was ordering a pork chop sandwich.
When he was informed that there were no genuine rabbis at the site, Garland reportedly attempted to go past the staff member and enter the facility through an ajar security door. Other staff members prevented him from continuing further until a security guard arrived. Garland allegedly continued demands to see a supposed colleague. The security guard told him that he became fearful when the intruder started eyeing his pistol, rousing fear that he may attempt to seize the weapon.
Bless you, son, in the name of the Father. Wrong.
The security guard commanded the faux rabbi to leave the facility, leading him away from his vehicle out of caution about what might be inside. An officer arrived, and Garland explained that he was taking part in an internet prank. The unarmed suspect was allowed to leave the premises with a warning, but after investigations by detectives and consultation with community center staff and the DA's office, it was decided to charge him. So he was arrested after that stupid thing.
How many internet pranks have worked their way into bizarre file stores that end up with arrests and sometimes worse?
Yep. A Maine coon cat traveling by plane from New Zealand to her home in Melbourne, Australia, got some unexpected airtime. So Margot Niaz is Mittens' pet mom. And while Mittens was in the cargo hold, Niaz was in the passenger cabin. When Niaz got off the plane, went to an area to pick up her 8-year-old kitty, there was no pet carrier. And it turns out a baggage handler didn't see Mittens in the carrier and left it on the plane. So in all, the cat went back to New Zealand and then back to Melbourne. Luckily, Mittens only lost a little weight, but she's super cuddly now. The airline is refunding the cost of Mittens' journey. But yeah, she took 2 extra trips.
Terrible.
What the hell happened?
I know. Exactly.
They are beautiful cats. Have you ever seen them? They're bigger.
I had one. Yeah, we had.
You did?
Yeah. So, and it's funny that their cat's name was Mittens because mine was Sneakers because they had little white feet.
Yep. Very cute.
Margot.
So, the person's name was Margot. Thank you. So, for the first time in 5,000 years, a spotted hyena was found in southeastern Egypt. Now, while the animals normally live over 300 miles away in Sudan, they haven't been seen in Egypt for millennia. Making such a unique discovery could only prompt one response, of course, and that's for the people who found it, killed it.
Killed it?
What?
You serious?
Turns out it got on the wrong flight in Melbourne.
So scientists think that changes to the weather.
We've never seen this thing before. Kill it.
Exactly. Weather pattern in the area opened up a migration corridor that let the hyena make its way to Egypt.
Ooh.
The animal had killed 2 goats that were being herded by the people who killed it, so it was a normal reaction.
What's with you and the goats?
To take it out after they tracked and chased it down. So it wasn't just, hey, that thing's new, let's kill it. It had killed some of their livestock. So a Florida man is behind bars after he was caught attacking an elderly woman in an attempt to make off with her lottery earnings. Surveillance video captured the violent robbery. The footage shows a man, deputies identified as Diego Tavares, approaching 83-year-old Ruth Monroe and trying to snatch her money. Monroe's step back to hide lottery tickets and wary of this guy's movements. At that point, a gas station manager stepped outside to intervene in the action. His last name is Fleury, by the way. I had the wrong name there. Fleury, indifferent to the manager's response, then lunges at Monroe and attacks her. The manager springs forward to grab Fleury to separate him, and all 3 are seen grappling on camera. The woman said, I'm 83. I've never gotten punched, but that look on his face that he was about ready to, and that's when he pulled it out of my hands and went that away. Fleury managed to steal Monroe's winnings, which amounted to $200, and get away. And authorities caught up with him a day after the theft and took him into custody.
Who the hell does that?
He was charged with robbery, sudden snatching, and battery on a person 65 years of age or older.
I want him put to death.
An endangered plant, we've heard of this before many times, known as the corpse flower for its putrid stink, is about to bloom in Australia and captivated in the internet. It has captivated the internet in the process, with thousands already tuned in to a live stream ahead of its grand debut. The Titan Arum plant, housed in the Royal Botanic Gardens of Sydney, blooms only once every few years and just for 24 hours. Affectionately dubbed Putricia, it will be releasing a smell described as wet socks, hot cat food, and rotting possum flesh.
Didn't they, or don't they have one at Longwood? There was, I remember it's one point,
maybe.
there was one, unless I'm misremembering, but
possible.
Yeah, apparently it does smell like a rotting body.
So they're live streaming it, and the current view is not so much. Putricia stands silent and tall in front of a brown curtain, comfortably ensconced behind a red velvet rope, and occasionally a visitor pops into frame. But once she blooms, viewers can expect to see Putricia unfold a vibrant maroon and crimson skirt known as a spathe around her spadix, which is the large spike in the middle of the plant.
It's a lot of SPs.
The gardens have said that it is hard to predict exactly when Putricia will bloom, but it's not stopped thousands of people gathering online. The plant can only be found in the rainforests of Sumatra, Indonesia, where it is known as bunga bangkai, or corpse flower in Indonesian. Its scientific name is Amorphophallus titanum.
God.
Derived from the words in Latin for giant, misshapen penis.
That's what it looks like.
That is exactly what it is called.
Absolutely.
It has the world's largest flowering structure, and it can grow up to 10 feet tall.
It is amazing.
And weigh up to like 80 pounds.
We're watching, now obviously they're ushering these people through very quickly, Preston. We're watching this video here.
That's time-lapse.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Steve, but that's time-lapse from Longwood Gardens. You were right.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
okay.
All right.
I know that room. That's the tropical flower room. Like you go around the corner from there, they have a whole bunch of orchids sort of toward the end of the conservatory.
Yeah.
I know that, dude.
I know that room.
I know that plant.
All right, so yeah, this thing's getting ready to open up.
Oh, gnarly.
Watch it online. That's what it smells like. Definitely. Hey, I want to thank again Eve from Apple and Eve Aesthetics in Percy, because I had session number 2 of my tactile ASMR treatment. So this is a birthday gift. Thank you guys, by the way. So she does very light touch or tickling, and she has done this all over my back with her nails. It was my second session. I kid you not, I'm just like.
Are you very relaxed now?
Oh my God.
I think that would be, listen, that seems to be, again, it's a why no one's been doing this. I mean, she's innovating here, and you immediately just.
Melted. I melted.
Yeah.
I was slobbering. I melted. I can't tell you. This is the most relaxation. This is way more relaxing than a massage for me personally. Yeah. And like she hits on the little erogenous zones, the real sensitive areas on your body that, like close to your armpit and around the arms and stuff like that. And I was just had goosebumps all over my body. Kathy, would you like something like that at all?
Yeah.
You would? Okay. That very light, sensitive, easy, relaxing touch. Oh my God! So you can set up an appointment, and she's a very small operation. She's the only one that does this.
Yes,
in her studio.
She's the innovator.
This Preston Elliott approved.
Yes, thumbs up.
So you can check her out, and you can also set up an appointment. And she does facials and all kinds of other waxing and things like that at appleandeveaesthetics.com. And again, they are in Percy. So yay.
I think if you're dealing with anxiety issues or something like that.
Hell yes. Yeah. I'm getting ready to fly, and I'm like,
without a plane now.
Yeah. Please. I'm flying as we speak. All right, so we're going to take a break. We'll come back in a second. We will get the music news, trash, all that stuff, and we will also have our Preston Steve Ticket Blitz word, the final one. And then, before the show's up, we're giving away the tickets to the game on Sunday. Get set. We'll be right back.
Preston and Steve on 93.
Would go into a pool within 1 hour of having diarrhea.
See, that's now listen. That's why public pools are just not my thing.
Spend all day on the toilet. You know what I need to do? I need to take a swim.
Get some of that residual out.
To check the chlorine and pH levels for a personal public pool, the council is offering free pool test kits. through its 15th annual Healthy Pools campaign on its website.
This is the Alliance.
This is the Pool and Hot Tub Alliance.
Did you mention in this story, Preston, particular sunblocks affecting?
I didn't mention
You
this.
may
Okay.
go into the pool now.
Peter Cushing.
Moff Tarkin.
This is the finest pool you'll ever swim in.
What were you saying, Nick? Sunscreens?
Yeah, the reason that I bring it up is that I went on a snorkel, not a scuba,
Snookles
or a snorkel, but a snorkel.
It's the latest craze that's sweeping the beaches of America. Snookling.
Get some Beach Boys.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be
Good
great.
outside, hanging tan, snookling all day long.
Surfing USA, please.
Oh, sorry.
I know what the snookle is, if I may suggest.
Have a snookle.
Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen.
Snookle USA.
Like California.
I'm such an idiot.
All right, anyhow.
Snorkeling.
Oh, yeah.
I went snorkeling, and you weren't allowed to wear.
Feel of a snookle at dawn.
You weren't allowed to wear the sunblock that you brought. You had to use the sunblock that they provided for you, and it's because the sunblock that most people wear is pretty damaging to the reef. And I was wondering if it would be damaging at all to like a pool filter or to the saltwater.
These are all good
treatment or
questions.
whatever,
Yeah, because some of the chemicals are pretty arch and can have that effect.
Yeah, and I've been snorkeling many times in my life, but this is the first time ever on a snorkel trip where I had to do this, and you weren't allowed to wear what you had, what you brought.
They provided.
They provided it for
Do you
you,
remember
yeah.
what it was? What type it was?
I don't. It was like an industrial vat.
It was called Reef Killer.
Yeah.
Reef Killer sunblock. A snookle, by the way, as you're snorkeling, has a second tube that goes up back onto the beach so that someone could load M&Ms into them so that you can eat.
You're hungry.
So that's what a snookle
Right, a
is?
snookle is a second food tube.
Okay.
So that you can swim longer.
Everybody wins.
That's great.
They do have snuba.
Snuba.
Snuba is legit.
I've heard of that, yeah.
Snuba.
Apparently,
Yeah.
snookle is legit as well.
Are you kidding
it?
me?
No, I'm serious.
If you can swim, you can snookle. Yeah, he's absolutely right. Snookle offers shallow dives.
Approximately 10 to 40 feet without cumbersome tanks and no diving certification necessary. That looks like snuba.
It does.
So what
A hose,
what
right?
they do is, well, yeah, they have a floating tank that stays above the water, and you basically take the regulator down, and it's a long tube, a long hose that you can breathe in. We're getting ready to get recertified to go into a refresher course for scuba to get set for our vacation. So I'm looking forward to it. But I'll ask about snookle.
Yeah.
Zombie raccoons. That's my thing.
Yes.
That clumsily walk on two legs and show their teeth are staggering around suburban Chicago, and authorities are warning locals to hide their pets. A spike in raccoons testing positive for distemper in Riverside, Illinois, is to blame for the bizarre sightings of contaminated animals that the disease causes to appear zombie-like. While zombie raccoons don't eat brains, distemper is highly contagious. If you're feeding wildlife and that raccoon ate out of your bowl or cat food for your stray cats and your puppy goes over, the saliva can be contagious.
They sent in a Negan raccoon to take care of everything.
Well, oh, well, oh, well. Looks like we got ourselves a problem in Chi-Town. Leaning back high. Looks like we got some trouble. Some trouble in Chi-Town. Going deep dish on this bitch.
It's got a little leather jacket he wears. Yeah.
Leaning back way far. Ooh, hey. In the home of Oprah.
There was an email that was sent out that we were going to have our studios checked because there may have been bed bugs brought into the area. And we've had everything checked out. They actually just brought a dog in to sniff. Yeah, I think it was Jack Russell is what it looked like.
Josie was her name.
Josie is the dog. And There's no bed bugs.
Well, no, that's not true. There were on a chair.
Was there?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Or yeah, it was sort of
One
like
chair.
a warm zone or something.
A warm
like that
zone.
They call those.
That's
So-
what I call my
There's
chairs at
not-
home. Yeah, my warm zone.
I think what everybody was worried about was an infestation, which I guess is not the case if it was just on the chair. I don't know.
Just on the chair. The rest of the place is apparently clean. Josie scoured our studio and nothing.
And I'm never coming back again.
You would have thought there was a radiation leak here.
Yeah. So I never told my wife that there was a bed bug.
She wouldn't have let you go to work.
No.
That was the first thing I told my wife, and I started laughing.
Yeah.
Because, listen, I'm surprised that's all we have. They're ripping the entire building apart, walls that haven't been opened up in years.
Yeah.
I imagine at night there must be a big vermin hoedown when we leave. Because you walk around, there's these caverns. Like a wall will disappear.
Yeah.
There's a big opening now.
Yeah.
You walk down one hall, it's 11 degrees, and then the next hall, it's 1,400 degrees. It's a whole new environment. It's like you're on some spaceship that's just, morphing all the time, and that's what this is here.
Well, I'm just glad that they alerted us to it.
Yeah.
Because during some of the construction, apparently they were removing asbestos, and nobody ever told us.
Well, that's when that wall went up down at the end of the hallway.
Yeah.
Because, and I almost walked into that wall. That's how quickly it went up. I started to turn down to go down to what I thought was Chuck's office down the hall that used to exist.
Like Looney Tunes.
And there was a wall.
So my wife will, when we go check into a hotel, it's always the same situation. We open the door, we shut the door, we leave our bags right at the door while she goes and strips all the beds and looks through all the furniture for bed bugs. She's like definitely
She's fanatical.
So before you guys even enter the room,
we have to leave our bags at the door. There's an inspection.
I really wanted to come in a hazmat suit or some sort of bubble, but I couldn't find anything.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
I'm going through our text chain, and I'm like, hey, by the way, this is going on. I'm not going to tell my wife. And then Kathy immediately goes from 0 to freaking out.
Oh, yeah.
Get the F out of here. I'm not coming into work tomorrow. Who the F has bed bugs? Holy F, no, like 1,000 exclamation points. And then she says, do you know how hard it is to get rid of bed bugs? What's the company going to do about it? And when? And then Preston sends a GIF, of like a bedbug jug band.
Yeah, playing music. And then Kathy fires back, that's not funny.
It's not funny.
I think I said F you to anybody who's not taking this seriously.
And then I think Nick said, read Joe's email. And then Kathy says, F the email, F the bed bugs, and F whoever doesn't think this is a big deal. Where are we going to do our show tomorrow? Clearly, we can't go to the station, and we need an on-site location.
My house is
She was
clean.
ready.
My house is clean.
Yeah. She was ready to set up shop somewhere else. to do a live
100%.
broadcast.
If you guys would have said, yeah, we have to do the show somewhere else, I would offer it up my house.
Oh, really? Oh, my God.
So it was one bug down the hall, right?
Yes!
Okay, I'm just asking.
Could you see Casey coming home? Diane wants to check him, so she takes out the blue light. Doesn't find any bed bugs, just semen
Bathed in
stains.
semen, yeah.
All over my face.
We're good. The woman was saying that they have dogs that can do all sorts of that check for bugs that actually will.
Wait a minute. I thought you meant that bed bugs use dogs to travel around.
yeah,
Back up.
Mush, mush.
For a ride.
I thought you meant as piggybacking.
You've never seen the bed bug Iditarod?
No.
It's good, yeah.
It must be majestic.
It's compelling.
Yeah, good dog, good dog. It's good dog. Yeah, yeah. I love being out here in the open range. Yeah.
Let's see here. As Godzilla versus Kong, starring Millie Bobby Brown, performed much better than expected given the scene. We're done with traffic, right?
Yes.
All right, 10:16, K-State. K-State. We got to do this right now. Let's get your last chance to enter, to win the Preston and Steve Ticket Blitz. This is going to be our final keyword. You need to enter this at PrestonandSteve.com. Remember, don't text it to us. We're not taking them that way. You got to go to the website. And the word is coach, C-O-A-C-H. You enter that right now. You'll be in the running for tickets for Sunday's game. And not only that, tickets to the Philly Sports Trips tailgate party that's taking place. Former players will be there. Snack Time will perform. Food, drink, heated tent, the whole deal. So this is your last opportunity to get on board. Do it now. The word is coach, C-O-A-C-H. And then the end of our show, we're going to find out who the winner is. I assume that's what we're
very
doing.
exciting.
All right, today's lesson question, a wholly different thing. We are going to give away a pair of tickets to the Sunday, May 25th show of Metallica, Lincoln Financial Field. And I think we're going to have to go with this. What soda followed the success of Sierra Mist, which had a similar name as porn star Sierra Mist? It's not the same as Sierra Mist, but anyhow, if you heard it, you know. 215-263-WMMR. What soda followed the success of Sierra Mist? It's not a real soda. We made it up. Call now if you know the answer. We'll do the trash while you're calling.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
All right, we'll get a winner after we get some stories. Steve, what's going on this morning?
Well, alleged multiple murderer Brian Kohberger was back in court yesterday, but this time he was clean-shaven and wearing a brand-new suit. Kohberger told the judge just because he's a murderous lunatic doesn't mean he can't dress to impress. Snoop Dogg responding to The View's Ana Navarro after she called him a trained SEAL for playing President Trump's inauguration. Snoop says he believes Navarro is what comes out when Whoopi Goldberg sharts.
Oh, my God.
And I forgot I wrote that. And finally, Candy Spelling bemoaning the loss of her Pacific Palisades home during the recent wildfires. Candy says all she has left is a 60,000 square foot home in Beverly Hills.
All right, we are looking for the answer to this question. Which soda followed the success of Sierra Mist, which had a similar name as porn star Sierra Mist, spelled Cierra Mist? That's the other porn star. 215-263-WMMR is a number, and we are going to go to Jen, see if she knows. Hi, Jen. Good morning.
Gadzooks, guys.
Gadzooks, Jen. Okay, what was the name of the soda that followed the success of Sierra Mist?
I believe it was Sloppy Queef.
Yes! Sloppy Queef is correct, Jen. Hang on, because you got tickets to see Metallica Sunday, May 25th at the Link. It's the M72 World Tour with Pantera and Suicidal Tendencies opening the second show. Single-day tickets for both shows, May 23rd and 25th, are on sale now via Ticketmaster. It's a no-repeat weekend, 2 different nights, 2 different sets in the round, and you'll hear different songs each night. Let's do music news.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
All right, I have just 2 things to pass along to you. We will start with this one, an upcoming Questlove-directed documentary, Ladies and Gentlemen, 50 Years of SNL Music, celebrates the iconic music performances on Saturday Night Live. A new trailer has dropped for the project, and it features music legends like Prince, Adele, Bob Dylan, and more, alongside commentary from hosts and performers.
They've done, actually, so earlier on, when they were recording a lot of these performances, the audio quality and video quality was not up to snuff. They restored a lot of them and got the quality skipped up. So I'm very excited for this.
Dua Lipa shares, for instance, you don't know what's going to happen until 11:30. And Miley Cyrus described the show as a tightrope walk. It says a tightrope walk.
By the way, there is a montage of her with that grumble. Yeah. And that vocal fry and the animal that sound like that. Yep. And there's a whole series of animal sounds that sound exactly like that.
The documentary features iconic moments from artists like Kanye West, Sinead O'Connor, and Rage Against the Machine, as well as insights from cast members and alumni like Bill Hader, Maya Rudolph, and Lorne Michaels. The 3-hour feature set to premiere on January 27th on NBC, and then will stream on Peacock the next day.
The journey is usually the part that you remember anyways.
What was the second part?
A dog.
Okay.
Yeah. The journey is usually the part that you remember anyways.
That's just fantastic.
The one that amazes me, it's a shorter montage, but it is farts that sound like her vocal fry.
I've not seen that one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. I got to see that. One more thing. If you're about to rock, there's a college that'll graduate you. A new program called the Metal Factory has been fired up at Summa College in the Netherlands. And on Sunday, there's open house letting prospective students know about the music degree they can earn with a special focus on heavy metal music.
Wow.
Singing classes in the program teach the art of growling.
Done.
I moved it.
The art of growling.
No, it's gone.
It's gone.
Oh, it's gone.
Yeah. I moved on. I apologize.
I was going to play the Miley Cyrus. So the art of growling, and then there are instructional courses on playing guitar, bass, drums, and keyboards as well.
The art of what?
The art of growling.
The journey is usually the part that you remember anyways.
All right, and
there it is.
The program is apparently designed to help establish a broad basis for a future career in the music industry.
I think it's more clearly designed to deplete the savings of the parents.
While gaining experience in performing, organizing festivals, and preparing workshops. Space in the program is limited, and students have to audition to be allowed into it. So you better not suck if you want to try it. And there you go. That's what I have in music news. All right, we break one more time. We'll come back in a second, and we will wrap up the program. Word of the week prize. Tickets to the game. Giving those things away. Stay with us. We'll return shortly.
Preston and Steve.
COVID and so on, and the original movie King of the Monsters' lackluster box office performance. A threequel is expected with Adam Wingard set to direct again.
So he directed the most recent one,
I believe so, yeah.
Right.
So according to the Hollywood Reporter, the concept being floated is Son of Kong. Godzilla vs. Kong has crossed $400 million globally and is the top-grossing Hollywood-produced movie since the pandemic hit.
They're going to have to correct something now in both these, Son of Kong and Son of Godzilla. You gotta have a female Godzilla. Something. Mm-hmm. Who's he banging? Yeah. Where does this? Not unless they're asexual. They reproduce that way. I mean, there's only
it's Son of Kong,
right? But there's also Son of Godzilla.
Oh, is there Son of Godzilla?
Yes, I'm sure that's in the works as well.
So maybe he could reproduce asexually. I don't know. We don't know much about Godzilla. He's kind of a mystery, but definitely not Kong.
Well, Godzilla
definitely
could.
Not.
No, he's more.
Yeah.
He's a simian.
He's a mammal.
Why do we assume that Kong is a man? Wouldn't
we know it? He's all man.
Well, I don't know.
Wouldn't he be Queen Kong?
Yeah, he'd be Queen Kong.
Okay, fair point. But I didn't see any low-hanging fruit, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, they left that out. In fact, can you on apes, or do they? I've never.
Is there junk external?
That's a good question.
Apparently, it's pretty small. I remember. We talked one point about animal genitalia.
Yeah, but even on Kong, it would be big enough.
You're right.
But it'd be the size of a
proportionally
VW, you know.
Yeah,
it'd be the size of me.
Be as tall as Steve.
I want to see King Dong. I want to see it.
There actually was a movie called King Dong.
Of course, there was.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's a rom-com. Like he's romancing this lady, and that's about how they have the baby together.
Oh, the next Kong
the
movie?
next one, yeah.
4 weddings and a King Kong.
That could be. It could be something like that. We'll have to see. An inspiring story.
Giant ape walked into her life.
All right. So anyhow, we will see if that comes to pass or not. But
how big his junk is, and whether there's a Mrs. Kong.
Son of Kong. We'll have to see.
What a goddamn day today. Sit down. I'll make you some dinner. I'm fighting these things that are apparently prehistoric, and yet I've never seen them, and I'm on an island. You think I would run across? I don't even know why they evolved that way. They're like snake things with. Just give me a beer.
Yeah, just think about it tomorrow. Just,
you want to do a little grab ass?
Yeah. Khloe Kardashian.
Let's take this upstairs.
Kong! What are you doing?
Just a little finger stuff.
Oh my God.
There's no little finger stuff in here.
Oh, it's bigger than my penis.
No, it's perfect.
A lot of gorillas are like that.
It's okay, baby. It happens. No, not to me. It's those dumb lizard things that I met today.
You can't stop thinking about it.
I'm just distracted.
Forget about the lizard things. Come upstairs.
Let's have some oysters.
Okay. Should I move on to Khloe Kardashian now? Okay, thank you.
Same size.
I have the floor now.
Maybe that. There you go. King Kong marries Khloe Kardashian.
Today, it was, I guess, 25 years ago today or recently within the last week or so?
I think it's today. It's a magical day, or at least a magical time. You can sort of feel it in the air.
Yeah, you even look outside.
Yeah.
The trees are swaying, I think, in honor of the fact that it is the 25th anniversary of the movie Twister.
Yeah. A legendary film.
Oh, my God.
Legendary, horrible film.
I remember looking forward to going and see. I took my mom. She was visiting in town, and I took her to go see the movie. And the big hook were the effects.
That's it.
At the time, the effects were kind of groundbreaking. The CGI depicting these tornadoes.
And they were amazing for the time. They did a great job.
Yeah. It was such a stupid movie.
The whole concept.
It was just piss poor.
Yeah. The rival storm chasers.
Yeah.
There's the corporate storm chasers and the more grassroots in it for the love of the storm. The whole background story on Linda Hunt's character, Helen Hunt's Joe Harding.
Not Linda.
Yeah.
Very, very different.
Yeah. So the Helen Hunt's story about her dad being sucked away in a twister while they were in the storm cellar, and she's always had this love-hate relationship with the storms. But it's horrible. But again, at that time, the effects-wise, you'd never seen anything like that.
No, effects-wise. So here's my vivid memory of this movie. Because if it was 25 years ago today, I was just getting done my junior year of college. I was a lifeguard, and I was at my boss, the guy who owned the company. I was at his house getting all the supplies ready to clean out pools. We did apartment pools. And he talked like this. Like, his voice was like this, right? And so it's me and my little brother, and we're power washing all this stuff in his driveway. And he goes, I saw Twister last night, and those tornadoes were real. And he said that. Those tornadoes were real. He must have said that like a half a dozen times. My little brother, it was me and him, my younger brother, sorry. It was me and him. And so we will, even 25 years later, if the word tornado comes up in conversation, he and I will say, those tornadoes were real.
What was that guy's name?
I don't want to say his name.
What's his first name?
What was his first name? Last name?
You just know his last name?
Joe.
Okay.
Let's go with Joe.
Hey, Joe, how were those tornadoes?
Those tornadoes were real.
I love that story so much.
Was he suggesting that they had incorporated? What was his point? Was that they were not created for the movie, that they were corralling tornadoes and using them in the film?
I think what he meant to say was those tornadoes looked real.
Okay.
But he said that they were real. And he had like a real affinity towards just weather. He loved weather.
He was a weather guy.
Yeah, he loved weather.
It was like Philip Seymour Hoffman in the movie.
Well, listen, he owned a pool supply and lifeguarding company, so weather was definitely...
What I really love is weather.
Yeah. Weather's important to that line of work. Absolutely.
Yeah. Those tornadoes are real.
Oh, my God.
I wonder if my
That's
brother's
great.
texting me.
It's almost kind of Don Nazi.
Yeah.
Wait, I just said Don Nazi.
Very different.
Don Nazi.
Citizens of Mayberry, I find nice and gloomy.
Oh my God, I didn't even mean to do that. Wow. Okay.
Bring Floyd in here. I have something for him to do. We got to talk about this Jewish thing.
All right. But you guys would be surprised how many people are texting in on how this is their favorite movie.
Yeah.
Or that it's their
I don't even get why we're
best
talking
movie.
about it.
It's the 25th anniversary.
We're
Because
talking
those
about it
tornadoes
because-
were real.
Who cares?
Come on, Cap.
It
was real.
By the way, when Casey says that, he puts his hands by his sides.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like he pushes them into his sticks his elbows out and goes, it was real.
Those tornadoes were real.
Primal Fear Ed Norton has them as a very diabolical character, right? I remember he's completely psychopathic.
A good twist.
It's a twist. Yeah.
It's a twister.
It was real. Tornadoes were real.
Dude. I can't believe we just met this guy.
I can't believe I never took.
You've never. I've never brought it
I
up.
love that.
Dude, that guy, man. He lived in this beautiful, huge home. I'm like, how the hell? Like looking back on it, I'm like, how the hell did you? You just own a pool company. You know what I mean? Anyway,
there you go. Yeah.
All right, well, good on him.
My family money is real.
I want to get movie reviews from that guy.
Yes.
Other movies
from Joe.
Yeah.
I love it. After grieving her husband Prince Philip's death, Queen Elizabeth is back to her royal duties. On Tuesday, she made her first official 3 days grace. The song is Mayday on MMR 1033. Friday, no sad bro morning. And we are at the end of our broadcast day. By the way, 3 days grace, one of the bands is going to be playing the MM Barbecue, which is wonderful. We do have them along with Alice in Chains and Mammoth WVH and Dorothy, and also
the Beatles.
What am I looking at? Dead Poets Society. Octane. Return to Dust. I'm sorry. I'm losing my place here. I'm still a little uber relaxed from Eve, who came in and gave me the ASMR back treatment.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I'm half awake.
That's the kind of thing you need when you're looking to de-stress and relax. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyhow, MM Barbecue tickets, they are on sale. I would like to thank, I'll go ahead and thank off the top, Apple and Eve Aesthetics, Eve, who came by. They're in Percy, and it was a little birthday gift for me. Where they do ASMR tactile sessions, and there's light touch and tickling, and it's a little bit different than massage, but insanely relaxing. So thank you to Eve for doing that. Also, thank you to Sam Morril. He was great. Awesome to talk to him.
He's so good.
The Errors Tour is coming to the Miller Theater on February 6th. Then we had Dov Davidoff stop by. Dov is going to be at Helium Comedy Club tonight and tomorrow. HeliumComedy.com. All right, I'm done messing around. We need to get a winner for our Birds tickets. And Case, do we have a name or anything like that? I just see one name. I'd like to know a whole name if possible.
Unfortunately, I was doing something else, so I do not have that information. Marissa does, possibly.
Right there. It's up on the screen now, Preston.
You want this?
Yes. All right, so we got people registered throughout the morning today and yesterday as well to sign up and win tickets to go to the game on Sunday. And we would like to congratulate Sue Fender! Sue Fender has got herself some tickets to go to the Birds game. And not only that, to the tailgate party as well with PhillySportsTrips.com. And Marissa just now called her up. She is from Langhorne, Pennsylvania. Sue, are you there?
I am. This is crazy.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So
Thank you. Oh, my goodness.
You are going to the game on Sunday. Who are you going to take with you?
I'm going to have to take at least one of my kids.
At least one of your kids.
Yeah.
All right. Do you get to games often?
No. They took me once the first time a couple years ago for my birthday. It was the first time I had ever gone to a game.
All right. Did they win when they brought you?
I'm not going to say.
Okay. Good
fine.
answer.
Yep.
Good answer. That's all right.
Perfect.
But you will also get to experience. You'll also get to experience the Philly tailgate party as well. And there's going to be former members, and Snack Time is playing. They've got food and drinks and a heated tent and this whole thing. So you are good to go. You're seeing playoff football this weekend. How about that?
Insane. This is insane. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness.
All right.
I'm so excited.
Thank you for listening and congratulations to you. And go Birds, Sue! Hey! All right. Hang on. That's how you do that.
Yeah.
Thank you to everybody who helped arrange that. Marissa came up with the idea, I believe, for the contest and how it all worked out. And I thought that was a great mechanism to give those away. So We definitely appreciate all that. All right, we need to do the letter of the day prize, too. Casey, you ready for this?
Yes, sir.
All right, letter of the day
Preston and
Word of the Week
Steve
prize.
on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
And the Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by the letter
R as in ready to go.
All right, R as in ready to go. You are good to go. So we'll take caller number 3, 215-263-WMMR. And we'll see if you can call in and give us that word. And it's usually this time that I find out what Pierre's got going on. So we got to kill a little bit more time. Cardboard Classic is coming up. Oh, yeah. Obviously on February 28th. And we've started to get some, we have a lot of people registered, but we're getting the information from our promotions department trickling into us about some of the sleds that are being entered.
Yes.
Do you want to hear some of the?
I would love to.
All right. So there's a couple of concepts that are coming up. So there's one called Dick Likes His Chitty with Junk in the Trunk.
Okay.
I'm assuming it's a Chitty Chitty Bang Bang riff because Dick Van Dyke is in that.
Absolutely.
But I love that name. Farmers and Bankers Brewing Battleship, New Jersey.
Wow.
That should be pretty cool. We have a group that is doing a picnic basket with Yogi Bear and friends.
Excellent.
Let's see. There's one called Balls to the Wall. Let's see what else we have here. In Deep. I'm not sure what that means.
Okay.
Boat Drinks, which is a margaritas in a boat Jimmy Buffett tribute as well, right?
Sounds great.
They're going to have some cocktails, Kath. Hot Tub Time Machine. There will be Chick In, it says. Big white chicken with legs out to the side that shoots cardboard eggs out the back.
That's great.
So people they're getting creative this year, and we're excited, and we really would like you to be at the event. The details are at PrestonandSteve.com. But mark that date and, reserve a place to stay and enter if you can. We'd love for you to participate, and I think there's a few fastest slots open. That's the easiest one to get in on, I think.
Yeah.
So you can enter for that. All right, we're looking for caller number 3, and we'll go to Dave. Hi, Dave. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, Dave, what is our word of the week?
Star.
Star is correct, Dave.
Good day in the morning.
Yep. All right, Dave. Hope you're ready to go because we've got a pair of really close floor seats at the world's most exciting combat sport, and that is Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship tomorrow. All right, my man?
Sounds good.
All right.
Thank you.
Don't get any blood on you. Hang on the line. We'll get your information. And don't forget, at Wells Fargo Center tomorrow, you can watch Philly's own Eddie Alvarez, the Underground King, fight Jeremy Stevens with no gloves Stevens. Limited tickets remain. You can get yours at bkfc.com. Let us take this moment to thank our sponsors. The Preston and Steve Show has been brought to you today by Dunkin', and the Preston and Steve Show runs on Dunkin'. Also brought to you by Acme Markets, fresh foods, local flavors. Next week on the program, Joe Manganiello. We'll ask him how he says his name.
Yes.
Jose Garces is stopping by. We are going to have our buddy Ryan Avery from Screen Crush. Ryan Airy, sorry.
Yeah.
Joe Satriani.
That cat
is
really
going to
knows
get
how
in
to play
touch with
guitar.
you. Does, doesn't he? Danny Clinch, photographer. Rob McElhenney will be joining us, and comedian Justin Silva in studio as well. So we have a lot that is shaping up for next week. So that is it. We are done. Rage on. Have yourself a great weekend. Go Birds on Sunday. And thank you. We'll see you later, guys. Bye-bye.
Preston and Steve on 93.3.